I don't think I have. There we go. All right. We have our audio. Rico, can you talk for me? I need to do audio output. And there we go. Alrighty. Hello, hello. This is MOSEF's Middle School State Finals. I am joined by Rico. My name is Trevor. We are both players in the Southwest Missouri area. Rico plays for Drury University, and I used to play for Drury University. So, welcome to this first match. We are between Reed Springs and Central. Uh, and we should be good to go. Okay, there we go. I believe we have everyone in the lobby. We should be all good to go. Rico, what are you expecting today from the top four in middle school?
Top four. I'm honestly expecting some champ level. Maybe we might see a GC. Could even see scribbles here. You never know. Hopefully, some good Rocket League out of these middle schoolers that are looking to progress through the game.
Yeah, there's some players out there that are just absolutely crazy, extremely talented players. Not sure what we're expecting today. Top four though, they've obviously had a pretty decent season to get here by this point. So maybe we'll see something crazy. I'm excited. Letting the production know that we are all good to go. Hopefully we can get started. Let's see, Rico. We can see a few names on the scoreboard here. Just by names alone, you're not supposed to judge books by their cover, but who are you looking at?
Um, I'm looking at Borky too. I'm thinking Borky's gonna show us something special today. Maybe Speedy Flash 772 or 7728's got something in the books we don't know about.
I do like Borky too. I will say there's a few names in here that are no numbers, and that usually indicates that they are tryhards.
Does indeed. What about Pro J Money 117? I don't know. He seems pretty good.
Yeah, Pro J Money 117. We have a lot of names here. I'm not actually sure who's on whose team. We are going to have Central on blue and Reed Springs on orange, evidently. And as soon as we join, we will get the ball going. I'm thinking Borky 2 though. I like that. I like Borky 2. There's some sweats up in high elo that have numbers too, so maybe Borky 2 is a sleeper pick.
Most definitely. I think we could see maybe a flip reset out of the first 15 seconds from Borky 2 off kickoff.
Ooh, I would love to see a flip reset today. Didn't see a whole lot in the high school state finals in the fall. Didn't see a whole lot of crazy mechanics in general, but as we all know, your mechanics get worse with age. So maybe the middle schoolers have it in the bag like that. Let's see. Waiting for everyone to join up. You think Raptor Griefs? That almost sounds like a coach name. You think that's a player for one of these teams?
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna have to go with that's a coach since it doesn't have any numbers in the name.
We have a few like that. Again, we're not 100% sure who's on roster, so we can only see the beginning names right now. Oh, and they're joining up. So let's get this started. We are officially in the match. Again, Rico is picking on Borky 2. Raptor Griefs is in the game, so that is an official, not a coach. And we'll see how these middle schoolers do it. Borky is moving pretty quick here. Going off the wall already. Actually, kind of looking pretty messy. Did you pick the right player?
Borky might have actually had something going there.
He had an air dribble off the rip there. Very impressive.
We might be having a lot of the Borky cam today.
I mean, we didn't see a whole lot of crazy mechanics from the high school, and the great thing about esports is that unlike traditional sports, high school does not always mean better players necessarily. Just about the time you spent in the game. So if these guys, were playing on their Switch when they were 2 years old, they might be crazy at this game by the point they get into the middle school. You never know.
We got Borky Could be going for another air dribble. Low arm boost, though.
Borky is low on boost. We are seeing some small aerials. We're seeing a bump in the back of the orange net. Not quite what we want to see off the rip here. Maybe some mechanics, maybe some nerves here while we are in the top 4 of state finals. You never know. Borky is moving and grooving down the lane. But it's going to be, I'm going to say crypto pair. I do not know how to say, there's no vowels in that name. Very difficult to say. There's very few vowels, not enough. Got Borky going off the sidewall, doing more aerial action. He's definitely been the most in the air so far. For a blind pick, Rico, it seems like you chose correctly.
It seems so. It seems like they're just giving the ball to Borky and letting him rip. Here he goes once again. Can he go for a reset? Oh, nice shot from Borky.
Not quite a reset, but very reminiscent of Season 1 of RLCS. Just a nice little air dribble up and over everybody. Gets that extra touch to get over Speedy Flash. It's too late for, I'm going to just call him Pear, I guess. Too late for him to react. And that's the first goal of the game. It took a minute 30, though. So pretty slow-paced game so far. I've seen some games where we would have 4 or 5 goals by now.
Yeah, it seems pretty even for both sides. It's been a battle of the midfields. Borky's trying to control it. Here comes Raptor. Can he center it for Borky? And Borky scores! What a goal from Borky.
And it does appear that we do have the solidified game plan by Central, where it is give Borky the ball. I almost called him Forky there. Maybe that's where he got his name inspiration from.
It could be the second coming of Forky. We never know.
He does look very mechanical for a middle schooler, so maybe that is his idea. That's what he wants to be. We are going to see some struggles on the goal line with some aerials. Raptor says, thank you very much, I'm going to walk that one in. The game is starting to get away from Reed Springs already. It took a minute and a half for the first goal, and 30 seconds for the next 2.
There's still 3 minutes on the clock. Reed Spring does have a lot of time for a comeback. Can they make it happen is the question.
I did just notice something. The Raptor Griefs has a Diamond Tournament winner tag on it. So he is at least close to Diamond. Doesn't necessarily mean that he is Diamond. You can, of course, win a tournament at any rank. But he's at least somewhat close, probably. And he's looking like it out here. He's matched Borky's amount of goals, 2 for each of them, 4-0 total.
This game's getting quite out of hand pretty quick. Hopefully Reed Springs can get a goal. I think the main objective here is to stop Borky from the aerials. You just got to take him out of the air.
Now, the real question for me is, has Borky figured out how to do flip resets? If he knows how to do flip resets, his aerial game is going to be 10 times more dangerous, especially at the middle school level, where I think probably almost no one else can do flip resets.
I definitely agree with that one. It almost looks like we're playing the goalkeeper strat here from Season 1. I like to see this.
Yeah, we do have Pro J Money. He's in the net. Doesn't quite get the block. Crypto barely jumps out of the way. And Yari's going to put himself on the board. We hadn't said Yari's name yet. Maybe he was getting a little jealous by that.
Most definitely after he's seen his teammates score so many times. Let's see if Reed Springs can do anything here to stop
Borky
Borky.
have the double tap. Oh my gosh, it was
save.
on target. Good lord. Nice job by Borky. It was a nice save. I'll give it to Reed Springs from there. I just didn't know if Borky had that on target. Very impressive. Could we be looking at a future Mizzou Tiger in the working?
Could be. We saw one of the recruits coming out of MOSEF, Bubs, commit to Mizzou earlier this semester. I think we might have another Mizzou commit here.
You give it, I don't know how old Borky is. He has to be at least 13 to be competing in this, so give it 5 more years, and maybe Mizzou will have another player homegrown from MOSEF here.
Nothing like the homegrown signing straight from Missouri. One of the best states for Rocket League in the country. You have all those colleges, a great program for middle school and high school.
Yeah, Missouri does have 4 to 5 colleges, depending on the season, that compete in CRL. For some reason, we are just cracked on the sticks over here, and so is Borky. Another air dribble into the back of the net, upper 90. Not really much more to say about it. It's this game is all but done and dusted for Reed Springs.
Yeah. Going into game two, kind of what would you say their strategies to stop Borky are?
Well, if we're gonna play the perma goalie strat, we're gonna have to get a little bit more comfortable in the air. Every ball that is in the upper half of the goal is becoming a goal. So, gotta get a little more comfortable in the air. Not something you can just do on the fly. It takes hundreds of hours, if not thousands, to be very good in the air in Rocket League. But have to start improving on that, and maybe just try to feed the ball to one of Borky's teammates. Maybe they mess up and leave a sitter right in front of the net for you.
I definitely agree with that. The real question is, how do we stop Borky?
I don't know if you can stop the impenetrable force or impenetrable wall. He looks pretty unstoppable. For those of you that don't know at home, Rocket League is very much an exponential skill game. Even just between a few ranks can be thousands of hours of work difference separating those people. So it seems like Borky has certainly put in the work, and he is reaping the benefits. Now the only question is, this is the first match of the day. If Reed Springs can't stop Borky, who can? As he puts in his 5th goal of the game, he has officially dropped what we call 1,000 on the scoreboard, which is a milestone for Rocket League matches.
That is a crazy stat line to come to the state finals and in the first game drop 1,000 points. What a statement from Borky.
He really is looking like LeBron in the playoffs right now in front of the Cavs, tossing up the powder and saying that he's here. And pretty much unstoppable. 1,000 points in 3v3 is downright impressive. Yari is playing the perma goalie, and I'm not going to necessarily say that it's working as a goalie. I think Borky is just going crazy. Now, Borky is kind of trolling with a Season 2 bronze tournament winner. Obviously, not bronze. It's considerably better than that. But for the first game, not too bad.
It was great from Borky and the Raptor and Yaris. I don't know about the ring spring side. Kind of a little iffy on defense. Pair, however, did have a few stops that stopped Borky's offense, which were amazing efforts. But I don't know if it'll be enough in game two.
And I got caught switching the maps, so that's my bad. We are on Neo Tokyo Comic, not ideal for these matches. I can switch it. Let me see. Oh, that's somebody else. Okay. And rejoin. Please. All right. I am switching the maps for the games. I'm trying to make it as authentic as possible. Um, so we are going to be on Forbidden Temple for this next game. I forgot I should not ready up until I switch the maps. So we do have Borky. I can't believe you kind of just picked him out of a hat and really nailed it on that one, to be honest.
Yeah, honestly, kind of my method of thinking here was Borky to Forky. It's not that awful far from each other. Forky's quite a mechanical player, well known in the scene, so I was maybe a distant relative of him. That's what I was thinking, and it kind of led us in the right direction.
And Rico, are those players out of the match?
No one has left.
They have not left. They should leave, ideally. Hopefully they do not start the next game. I'm trying to play it on Forbidden Temple. That would be ideal. All right. So Borky to Forky. I like it. Let's do a little bit of research here. Let's see if I can find Mr. Borky 2's tracker and see what rank he actually is. Borky 2.0. It does look like he has hit Champ 3. Would you say that that is a pretty fair assumption or assessment of skill?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty fair. I was honestly thinking more like around that 1500 mark GC1.
I cannot find just straight up Borky 2. I think Borky 2 is an extra account that he might be more comfortable using to log in at MOSEF. Maybe some players don't want to log into their main accounts at MOSEF, so they log into these ones. But it does seem that he does have an account that hit Champ 3. Champ 3 seems about right. Starting to get air dribbles down, starting to get maybe a little bit more mechanics. I'm just downright impressed. Oh, you need to join the private match. We'll be good.
My bad, I didn't know it started. There you go.
I'm just downright impressed that we're seeing that kind of talent on the first round. Yeah, I mean, we did see something kind of interesting. You throwback to original season 1 of Rocket League where we had permanent goalies. Both teams doing it, actually. Borky's team and Reed Springs and Central. So, interesting to say the least. Didn't work out quite as well. I think that's why a lot of people kind of gave up on that back in the day, is that when you do have someone that is mechanically inclined and can just rip shots in the back of the net, being a full-time goalie doesn't seem to work out very well.
Yeah, I don't know about the full-time goalie strat. When you have somebody who's putting as many shots up as Borky, I think he put up 8 shots last game. A few are going to slip by, and that's going to cost you.
We are into our second match here. And more of the same, most likely. But maybe, honestly, might not be a bad idea to just chase Borky down. Hunt him down, and then kind of make it a 2v2 for the rest of the lobby.
Playing some man-to-man Rocket League?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you got to play man defense. That is going to be an absolutely rough touch coming in from the blue side. Going backwards on the touch, not ideal. Borky is going to take it up the wall and dribble it a little bit. And I think that what we're seeing here is someone that has really put in a lot of time into the game, even at such a young age. May not necessarily be the level of some of the pros, some of the really young pros like we know. But has definitely put in a lot of time. Definitely seems to have really good car control, for sure.
I can definitely agree with that. It seems like Reed Springs changed up their strategy. They have Speedy challenging Borky multiple times early on, and Borky slips another one by.
Yeah, one of the lessons you learn when you are first beginning as a goalie in soccer is to kind of rush toward the ball to cut off the angle that they can shoot. When you sit too far back, Borky has the whole net to shoot at. Doesn't end up working too well for Reed Springs there.
And so let's see what Speedy can do with this.
Speedy does get a nice save. Crypto's going up the wall potentially, but doesn't have any boost. One of the additions to the game recently, actually a very big addition, is the boost meters. So now even the lowly spectators, the lowly commentators can see how much boost people have at all times.
It was a great addition to the game. I think especially on the commentator side, we are now able to see kind of how much everybody's at as well, just from an image by their name tag. We got Pear going for it off the back wall, a dangerous miss.
But a double commit on the side of Central maybe leaves the Raptor by himself. He does get the save, but you have to think, if you're double committing with Borky, that's 2/3 of your team, kind of 3/3 of your team with how good Borky is playing. So that last man back is going to really struggle.
Oh, critical whiff in front of the net. Let's see if Speedy can take it to the other side and even this game up.
He is going to take it clear across his net. Yari is still playing as the permanent goalie. He may not get to see a whole lot of action. He may not have seen a whole lot of action this whole season with how Borky is playing. I do respect the want to carry the team across the finish line, but there is something to be said about teamwork. If another team can get all 3 players firing, Borky's going to have a tough time batting that.
I definitely agree with that. It seems like they're just letting Borky rip and changing between goalies. Here comes Raptor. Up to Borky. Nice challenge once again by Speedy.
Crypto get this touch off the back. Well, he cannot. They do leave the net open. Borky with a wide miss of the ball, not even just of shooting. Very uncharacteristic from what we've seen so far. It does seem, especially score-wise, that this game is going to be much closer. And that might be the most cast or curse thing I've ever said.
That was definitely the caster curse right there. A tough ball to deal with off the backboard, and once again, Borky, just an unstoppable force. How does Reed Springs answer? Something's gonna have to come up in the next 2 minutes. I believe we can see something out of Speedy and Pear. And Pro.
Yeah, I think, if we are going to see a turn of events here at the for the Reed Springs team, the whole team's going to need to be involved. It does seem that Borky is a little out of sorts. A few whiffs here and there, not getting the ball on target. As I said, he's going for an air dribble. He might get another one going here. He's not quite aerially consistent yet, but still very impressive.
Most definitely. Seems like Reed Springs made some adjustments on how to deal with Borky. He hasn't been as successful on the air dribbles as he was in game one.
Yeah, we have a little bit better defense, it would seem. They are getting up in the air a little bit more, trying to contest him a little bit more. They are shutting his attempts down. Yari is playing full-time goalie again. If we can start ripping shots on target for Reed Springs, we might have a chance here.
I definitely think maybe some long-range shots. I think that's what Reed Springs might need.
Yeah, if Borky gets a bad hit middle and Reed Springs can just clear the ball on target, that could definitely be a path to victory, at least for a game or two, until because we really haven't seen them be tested on defense. We don't know how good the defense is from Yari.
I mean, Yaris might get caught sleeping because he has not had much action in game one or two now. With 30 seconds remaining, can Reed Springs make something happen?
Ooh,
and here it comes.
He's going to be tested, and there it is. It's in the back of the net. They cut the lead down by half. Just a nice, solid dunk on Borky, getting out into his face. Pro J Money going crazy on it, and Yak just couldn't quite get there.
That's what we were just talking about. Pro J Money with a nasty 50 at half field, and Yaris just caught sleeping.
He said, wait a second, Borky's not back here to help me. And then Raptor Grease is going to put one into the back of the net. Just to kind of solidify it.
Raptor Grease will put this game to bed unless Reed Springs has something to say about it in 14 seconds, which has happened before.
I have definitely lost and won games with less time on the board and more score up there.
Rocket League is a crazy game in that sense. It is truly never over.
We are going to see another aerial go down. Borky again hitting the cross or hitting this post. I'm thinking that he's not feeling quite as good. A 3-1 victory is not the same as what it was last game, where it was much larger.
Yeah, it was quite close. Reed Springs actually did a great job adjusting to Borky. I think they can squeak out game three, honestly. They kind of threw Borky off, and it's just catching that third man sleeping back there, you know? You aren't putting up many shots compared to Borky, so you have to make them count. And 50 from the midfield from Pro J Money saw that happen. So, honestly, I'd like to take Reed Springs in game three. I liked what I saw out of game two, and I think they are a little more confidence flowing in themselves now.
Yeah, after Pro J Money just absolutely stuffing the ball back into Borky's face, getting a goal off of it, I think that maybe that's starting to click. Like, hey, if we took, maybe Borky is crazy. Maybe he will play at Mizzou in 5 years. But you know what? Right now, if we can shut him down, we can take the other two out, and we'll be all right.
Definitely agree. What kind of adjustments would you like to see from both sides here going into game number three?
Well, I really don't, even if you do win, I don't love the permanent goalie situation happening. Not my favorite thing to see. It's not very indicative of what higher level play will be in high school if they do go on to play there, or even college, if they go on to play in college. So I would rather fail doing the right thing than to win doing the wrong thing. And so I would like to see neither side to do permanent goalie. I would like to see Yari get in there. I would like to see, I believe it was Speedy playing mostly goalie for the other side. Really get in there and start touching the ball, get some plays, hit it around them, get some passes. If you lose, you lose. It's what it is, but at least try to play the game correctly while you're here.
I definitely agree with that. It all starts with the fundamentals. I don't know if being a goalkeeper is a fundamental anymore, but let's see if they can make it work. Going into game number 3.
Yeah, I think that if they can just get into the face of Borky, shut him down, um, and really, I do think that the shots that Reed Springs has had have been pretty good. They're just few and far between. We are seeing Yari get out and be a little bit more active, so maybe they have the stream pulled up. They're hearing my words of wisdom. As I am an old man, I have plenty of wisdom to give nowadays. Uh, so hopefully they can get out there, be a little more active, and really shut Borky down this game. You said you took Reed Springs on the third game, so we will see if that rings true.
Hopefully, here comes an attack from Reed Springs. Duffed by Raptor in the middle. Can he get a second? No, he cannot. 50 out of Borky. Let's see if Pro J Money can do anything with it.
We are trying to get the ball out and about. I would like to see maybe a little bit more focus on just getting nice, solid contact. Very much like baseball, you don't always have to swing for the fences, but just getting nice, solid contact will pay dividends. We are going to see a pass to the middle on accident from the orange team. Yari is up there in the box. Borky forcing the accidental touch middle. And Yari getting his second goal of the series.
That's a big goal out of Yari, getting the third man involved. What does that do for Central?
Well, it is going to be a little demoralizing for Reed Springs. If Central's momentum keeps going, they're already at a freight train, and then now Borky is really just putting the pedal to the metal. They're acting like Borky's kind of falling off here, but then he's air dribbling from the corner into their net.
Yeah, I think we might have Caster Jigs Borky in game 2. Game 3, he's coming out strong already.
Yeah, his aerial mechanics aren't super crazy yet. He will get there someday, but when he gets that ball on the top of his car in the air and gets that air dribble set up, he's looking pretty unstoppable. He's going for a flip reset. We do see one. It was on target theoretically, not the most dangerous, but you know what? I'll count it. I only saw like one flip reset, and it was out of Bubs in the fall. So we're going to count that here for the middle school division.
Something we didn't think we'd see today, a flip reset, and we already have that in series number 1 of the day.
There's only going to be a handful of series today, so I really wasn't expecting a whole heck of a lot. And maybe, I don't know the seedings, but maybe Borky is, or maybe Central is, otherwise, the best team in the bracket. Maybe this is a preview of what's to come.
Definitely agree with that. Reed Springs has to find an answer here in game number 3. It's coming down to the wire here with 2 minutes and 45 left. They're going to need one here shortly to change the tides here.
It does seem like Borky is almost more comfortable. Oh, with a nice shot from Pro J Money, almost there. Yari is playing that perma defense, so got that one easily enough. It does seem that Borky is very comfortable from the corners instead of the sidewall, which is very strange. But, you practice certain things for so long, and that's just kind of what you're good at. Speedy Flash with a shot up and over the bar. If you got to think if that was on target, probably would have been a goal. It was a nice hard shot. Oh.
Definitely agree with that. And Borky gets another dunk.
Yeah, they're giving him a lot of space, and they're all just kind of turtling up in defense, so he gets a free air dribble. Kind of a fortunate 50, but...
It was a very fortunate 50, but the one thing you cannot do is give a mechanical player space. It seems Speedy is not challenging as much as he was where he's finding success in game number 2. 2 minutes left, 3 goals to answer. Can they do it is the real question.
I believe Borky may be transitioning to more of a defensive role to really lock this game down. I just saw him in the back of the central net, and he is hitting all the way in the backfield again. You have to think that that's almost a just game securing type of play with him going into net to really lock down. Maybe they, maybe Reed Springs gets 1 goal past him, but they're probably not going to get 3 in a minute and a half.
Famous quote by athlete, Once said, we have entered secure the win mode. I think Borky has entered secure the win mode to earn his spot in the finals here.
That just tells me that he wants it more. He's been playing very well. Reed Springs is going
Could
to
he?
get a goal from Speedy Flash. Krototo pair to Speedy Flash. He does get a tip over Raptor. Yaru just slightly misses it. You can see he has no boost. And Speedy Flash doesn't put the ball away. I could have Caster Cursed it again, and we might be going into overtime or maybe even game 4 here.
It could be a game. It could be going into overtime here. Speedy Flash is known for the challenges, as we've seen in game number 2. Let's see if he can get 2 more.
We're going to see Raptor Griefs get a nice shot on target, and Pro J Money couldn't quite clear it. Raptor covering for the clear and getting a nice 50 into the back of the net. You know, they don't ask how, they ask how many, and Raptor said, give me a 4th one.
4 goals out of him. How many out of Borky? Will we see 1 more from Borky? Or will we see Speedy Flash make another comeback here?
Yeah, it really has turned out for Speedy Flash to be the primary goal scorer for Reed Springs, and he's, you know, doing his absolute best. We've had a few shots be just wide of the net, but honestly, at this level of play, when you come up with a player that is this has put in this much work as Borky has, it's going to be tough. You have to really play as a team to get through everybody.
Definitely agree with that one. I think the early challenges and another one, exact same goal as goal number 2 from Borky. How many times can he recreate the first goal?
It really is just catching him off guard. It's the aerial control coming from the corner into the net is a very unorthodox way to go about scoring. At 5-1 with 20 seconds left, this one's just about all done and dusted. We have seen some pretty solid plays from both sides here, but just couldn't quite overcome the Borkster, how I would like to call him. He's doing very well. Reed Springs going to be going down. I believe there is a consolation bracket today. GG's nonetheless to both Central and Reed Springs. We will see Central later for sure, and that will be it for this first series. Is there any closing words on this first one that we looked at?
Closing remarks from this series. Honestly, it was a lot higher level than I initially expected. Um, both these teams worked extremely hard this season to get where they were. So hold your head up high, Reed Springs. Central, how can we win that final? That's the real question. How can we get everybody incorporated into this next game?
Yeah, I do think you're going to need all 3 players to be active participants in the finals. For those of you that don't know, there's only 4 teams that made it here today. It is the middle school division, so we will be seeing Central in the finals. And at 10 o'clock, we will have East Middle School and Herculaneum High School. I believe it's probably a K through 12, so it's their middle school players playing. We will see them at 10 o'clock, so here in about 20 minutes. 10 o'clock Central Time is where we're located. Until then, we will catch you in a few. Your dog, Borky? That's crazy.
Yeah. I was like, Start that mug.
All right, and welcome back. We are at the 10 o'clock slot. We will be having East Middle School and Herculaneum. I had Google teach me how to say that one. High school. Apparently, there's Herc Gaming is what they like to be called. We're getting some players in the lobby right now. I'm down to do the same thing. I'm just going to let Rico pick the best player somehow out of random names.
All right.
And so, we're going to have East on the blue team and Herc on the orange team.
I'm gonna have to have all players load in
Yeah, you have
before
to.
I
Yep, it's only fair.
before I start giving out judgment.
I'm really, the thing I want is no old time goalies. I want everyone to play the game today. We almost have every player in here. It does look like we have a Twitch streamer,
Okay.
so maybe he's the next to come in.
I'm gonna go. My judgment. Tuna skin with a period.
Tuna skin, yes, quite the name. I'm going with Little Ramen Noodle. That's my pick. I like ramen. He's a little ramen noodle, or they're a little ramen noodle. Love that. So that's just a fun name. You never know what names you're gonna get down here in middle school. They just name themselves whatever. They look around. Maybe he has some food going around. He's like, oh, there's a little bit of ramen over there. That's my name now. There we go.
I think middle school is when everybody makes their first OG gamer tag. What
Yep.
was your first OG gamer tag, or you always been an athlete?
No, my first gamer tag was keep playing because I was so good. I wanted people to keep playing against me so I could keep beating them.
No underscores, no nothing.
Nope, just keep playing. That was it.
Wow,
I know it was pretty raw back then. I just go by
what an
athlete.
OG name.
Yeah, I'm an old man, so I got to have a lot of the original names
Back in the Halo days.
back in like the COD 4 days. Yeah, long time ago. Long time ago. Oh, I spoke Little Ramen's name into the abyss, and he has now left the lobby. Hopefully he gets back in here. 10 o'clock on the dot. We are running a tight ship over here at MOSEF Middle School State Finals. That last game was crazy. I did get official word that Borky 2 is Grand Champ. So, kind of crazy. I didn't hit Grand Champ until I was 22 years old. And Rico's never hit Grand Champ. That's tough.
Hey, yo, whoa, 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 whoa. Back that statement up. You didn't really hit it until you were 22?
Yeah, well, I mean, the game came out when I was 18. So,
Like 4 years?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
already too late for me by the time the game came out. We are getting right into the game. Little Ramen is
I'm
back
jumping
into
right
the
in.
action, and we are going. We have two people with TTV in their name, Twitch streamers, maybe the next Jinxies. Who knows? Maybe you should have picked one of them. Neither of us picked one of the Twitch streamers. Oh my gosh, and we're starting off with a
I'm
bang
right
tuna
once again.
skin.
Just a massive kickoff from Tuna Skin.
We are seeing something we didn't see last game, Rico, and that is people flipping on the kickoff to do the kickoff. And apparently it's a difference maker. The ball goes into the back of the net about 50,000 miles an hour. And we're having another ball top kickoff right into the net. And this time from Landon is cool. Not Landon is cool, Landon is cool.
Another kickoff goal. Just to start us off, 2 goals in 5 seconds. Can we get 3 in under 10 is the real question.
I don't know if we instituted a mercy rule here at MOSEF, but if we have 10 goals in the first minute, I am going to lose my mind. That would be crazy. We were on pace for about 50 goals this game in the first 5 seconds. Looks like it's going to calm down a little bit here. No more kickoff shenanigans. We do see a rare sighting on the field, Rico, in Landon. He is in Dominus. I haven't seen a Dominus player in a while.
The good old-fashioned Dominus player. The car that is known for being a goalkeeper. This game, we don't see anybody playing goalkeeper. A little change of pace for us.
We are seeing all 3 players on each team play the video game this time around, which is a nice scene. Do like to see the teamwork aspect coming into esports. And they're really cleaning up for each other's mistakes here on the defense. A whiff here and there, but their teammates are backing them up. No freebies for the blue team, that's for sure.
Definitely 2 dangerous whiffs coming from the boys in orange. Can they make up for it? Let's see.
We are seeing paired up with the Nominus, there are plenty of Phoenix on the blue side of the field. Arguably the sweatiest car, and TTV Contigan gets a goal. A slight whiff from Psycho, doesn't get the corner boost, doesn't have the boost to get back to the net. And much closer game, much more action-packed on this side of the bracket, it seems.
It does seem like a lot more even of a match over here. Seems like every player's getting involved on offense and defense.
And we're seeing the Twitch streamers kind of get that connection going. I haven't seen anything from Little Ramen Noodle yet. He was my pick, but your pick got the first goal of the entire series. So I guess you're just a savant when it comes to picking middle school Rocket League players.
Maybe not. Maybe that might have been another catcher's curse. As we see, Tuna is left alone to defend, and a dangerous ball is put in, and Kanto once again carrying his side to even up the score at 2.
A nice mid pass from Little Ramen Noodle across the box, right up and over the heads of the opposing team. And Connigan put it away. But you got to give credit where credit's due. We are seeing mostly assisted goals here on this side of the game, which is very nice to see. No unassisted. We got a lot of passing plays, a lot of aerials, everyone getting involved. Little Ramen Noodle up and about, gets it right over the head of, I believe, Landon. No, it was Psycho on that one. Right over the head of Psycho. Psycho's not looking super comfortable getting up in the air, and maybe they will be looking to exploit that.
Most definitely. How the tides have changed. 2 goals in the first 5 seconds. Now down by 1. How can they respond?
It does seem that Herc is really good at getting those kickoff goals, but they've really struggled getting other kind of offense. Psycho has a chance here. Tuniskin going to take the ball away from him instead. A little bit of a double commit, a little bit of miscommunication. It does seem like East is going to be a little bit better in the air, and that is a big difference maker in Rocket League. I would say at the highest level, about 90% of the game is played in the air at some point. And we're just going to see a nice, solid shot put on target from Contigan. I think one of the big differences at this level is if you're able to get the ball on target from multiple different types of shots. If you can do that, you're going to catch a lot of people off guard.
I think in our first judgment, we might have missed him. The TTV or Contigan carrying East Middle School to hopefully a Game 1 victory.
And now we're getting the other TTV in, Shadow. I think we did miss the boat here, not picking the Twitch streamers. Why would you stream on Twitch if you didn't have the skills to pay the bills? You wouldn't. So here they are. They're showing us they got plenty of goals in the tank. I want my boy Ramen to get a goal in the back of the net at some point.
3 goals. I'm going to need Tuna Skin and the Herc boys to clutch up here. I believe they can score 3 in 2 minutes. They scored 2 in 5 seconds to open this matchup.
And can they show the entire world that they are not just kickoff Randys, and they can actually get legitimate, bona fide goals? Uncertain up to this point. It does seem like East has had a lot of pressure. Connigan going off the sidewall. I'm going to go ahead and say it now. Our final match that we are going to be streaming at noon Central Time, Borky might be in trouble.
He very well could be. Both of these sides are putting up quite the fight. They're getting everybody involved in the plays. Very nice rotations coming out of everybody. Can Herc answer back? Most likely, it is very unfortunate that they're down 4 goals, but we've seen crazier things.
I think I played a game last night where I lost by 1. I had a 4-goal lead, so they were not possible. Especially if they're getting 2 goals in 5 seconds. I mean, they can the sky's the limit. If these guys get on kickoff, get rolling, it'll be
ball is rolling across the goal line. Dangerous situation.
Tuniskin is going to try to take it downfield. A whole lot of mess happening in the middle. Everyone's bumping everyone. And no one comes out the worse for it this time. We have seen a lot of bumps. A little bit of miscommunication from both sides of the field. But I think that is just a progression from playing full-time goalie like we saw in the last series. You're no longer all goalies. Now you're bumping into each other a little bit because you're trying to get places. We are going to see Psycho get an unfortunate whiff in the backfield. Contigan going to take care of business, slot it in there, nice and composed. No worries from him. He's done it about 45,000 times in replay, it seems.
This looks like a player we saw just an hour ago put up 5 in game 1. We have another one. Konta puts up 5 in game 1. Can he reach that 1,000 bomb mark?
He's not quite at 1,000 yet. He does have 24 seconds to go. I do think that Psycho is feeling a little bit outpaced here. He's not quite comfortable in the air, it would seem. Maybe that's a weak point that East can exploit, or maybe it's a point for Kirk to clean up. Maybe just try to get him some confidence, get him up in the air a little bit. The game really is all about confidence. If you don't have confidence, it's going to be tough to take a match. We are going to see the ball drop. A 7-2 victory, I believe. Kind of a crazy game. Those quick goals in the beginning into a whole lot of other teams getting a lot more goals.
So going into game 2, what are your thoughts? How does Hurt come back from this? How does East keep that momentum?
Well, the full-time goalie is not happening. I don't necessarily want to see it happen, but there is something to be said about the defense of that last game. A few unfortunate whiffs as third man, kind of have to lock that one in. And the players are leaving the lobby. Hopefully we can get them back in here. That would be nice.
Says,
What's up?
we have a couple of subs for both teams.
Yes, yeah, we did get some word that we have some subs on these rosters. I'm uncertain of the original rosters. I would almost bet the farm that Konta was on the original roster. He's very good. If he was not on the original roster, there's some tomfoolery happening over at that school.
Can we be seeing how a 2 quarterback system is used in football? Could we be seeing that transition to Rocket League with the subs? I know Genji did it last week. They did yank him instantly after they lost, and they put First Killer back in to retrieve that series. So could it work out?
Well, as you know, it's very early for gamers to be up at 9 a.m. Even earlier for middle school gamers to be up at 9 a.m. So maybe they just slept in. They just didn't show up for the bus ride. Some of these schools, most of these schools, actually, I believe almost all of them are from southeast Missouri. They traveled to Mexico, Missouri, where the finals are being held. That's a 3.5-hour drive. I know, because I drove it last weekend. And so, they left 5 o'clock this morning, 5:30, latest. So, they might be a little bit tired. Maybe some of them slept in. Maybe some of them are sick. Maybe some of them are already out of here. School starts to end. You got summer vacations, they're gone. Who knows? We'll never know why the subs are gone. I'm hoping the players will join back in. I did recreate the lobby, so hopefully they will get in here. But yeah, they do have subs. I don't know who the subs are, but I do know that the game looks better overall from a team perspective.
Can definitely agree with that one. Seems like everybody was getting involved. A lot of passing, a lot of rotating. One main thing is we did not see the RLCS Season 1 strategy of having the permanent goalkeeper.
Yeah, we were seeing a lot of really just strong shots from Konta. The other player, I'm blanking on his name, the other TTV guy, also doing really well. Pretty much, it seems like a lot of these teams have one, maybe two players that have put in the work, put in the time to really grind out the game and perfect their craft. And then maybe that third man kind of gets a little overshadowed. But that might be a good thing. For some people, that's the driving factor to also get good. They don't want to be left behind. They want to level up with their friends. And we're only in middle school, so these players have plenty of time. And quite honestly, any of these players you might be seeing at the college level someday. 5 years is plenty of time to get to that point.
I mean, it's crazy how much the scene changes from year to year. just a few years ago, we really weren't seeing that many people commit to college. Now there's full blown scholarships. It's treated as an actual sport. People are getting recruited out of high school to go play esports in college. It's great that organizations such as MOSEF are putting on something for the middle schoolers because then it allows them to transition to high school and then easily transition to college.
Yeah, it's really nice to see, so the players get a little bit of a platform here. Otherwise, when I was a big gamer in middle school, high school, there wasn't really a whole lot going on. It's really hard, especially, you don't have max preps, you don't have scouts necessarily coming to games. You can't really go to games, right? In the esports scene. So it's really important to have these platforms like MOSEF and like all the other great high school sports esports ran competitions. Get the names of these players out there. I know some coaches who probably jotted down Borky 2 last game, last match. Jot that down, put it onto your clipboard. You see it 3 years from now, you're like, maybe I'll hit that kid up. He's a sophomore now. I can start maybe looking at that, recruiting him if he's still playing.
That's definitely a possibility. The platforms these kids have now just to promote themselves and to play are far more than ever me and you had at their age. So it's great to see stuff like this. Competing with your friends, there's nothing like it.
Well, and make no mistake, to be at the level that some of these players are at this age is very impressive. It takes a long time, and most people never reach even Grand Champ, let alone SSL. If any of these kids, usually if you're able to reach SSL, you're looking at getting a pretty solid scholarship. And it takes a lot of work. These kids aren't just showing up and playing one day a week and doing nothing else on the backside. They're putting in the work, playing ranked games, maybe playing six mans. That'd be kind of crazy if some of these middle schoolers are playing the private six-man server and trying to get those ranks up.
Private six mans is a hidden gem within the scene. That's when really people start taking off is when they get in that six man server.
And we just have a whole lot of opportunity for these kids now, and especially if they're going to be going into high school with the rules about competition, these kids have to be 13 or higher, or older. And so you're kind of looking at like the back half of seventh grade, maybe, uh, and then mostly eighth graders. So they might be going into high school, and you might see them in the fall. They flow out here and they stunt out and they get a lot of goals in middle school, and then in the fall they're right back at it, playing in the finals there. You never know.
So, athlete, we have subs now. Are you going to change your prediction for which player you want to see as MVP of this series?
Man, I still like Little Ramen. Um, I love the name. The name's great. It does seem. Are they putting in? I thought they had subs last game, but we have a new name in the lobby. I don't know if this is a sub or not. Um, but I like the name Little Ramen Noodle. Love it. I think I have to stick with my dude. You stuck with Borky. Seemed to be the right choice on the last match. But I just like ramen, so I'm gonna stick with him.
That's fair. That's fair. I think I have to stick with my prediction too. Again, he scored a goal in under 2 seconds. He might be a kickoff merchant, but the game always starts with a kickoff.
The one thing you will do in every single game, no matter what rank you are, or what skill level, or what car you're using, the one thing you're gonna do multiple times a game is a kickoff. Every single game, doesn't matter. And so if he can really nail those kickoffs, and I mean he did nail that first kickoff, make no mistake, he did nail it. Uh, maybe that is the path to success. But we saw two quick ones, and then seven for the other team. So was not a great omen.
It was. I didn't think about it. It was 7 unanswered goals.
It was seven unanswered goals. Yeah.
7 unanswered goals is quite the statement coming out of East after going down 2-0 in the first 5 seconds. A lot of teams would just crumble. They'd simply fold. However, East used that as motivation to just throw 7 up there in game 1.
It is rather demoralizing to see a 70-mile-an-hour goal go in the back of your net within the first 2 seconds. I will say. But you know what? The TTV kids, they came out. Rahman had a pass, had an assist. I'll give it to him. I want Rahman to do the MVP work on this next game. That's what I'm going to need. I'm not hopping ship. I'm ride or die on Little Ramen Noodle. But the TTV kids definitely put in the work last game.
I respect it. I do respect the ride or die. It takes a lot to stick with your first pick. But I think Tuna's going to come out on top. He's got to prove something game number 2.
Tuna Skin is also a crazy name. So, like I said in the first series, you never know what game or what names you're going to get, especially in middle school. These kids are maybe it was the same thing as Little Ramen Noodle. Tuna Skin looked around and said, "There's some tuna skin." I don't know why he's got tuna skin laying around, but maybe that's what happened. Really, there's no telling what these kids are thinking when they make their names. They get to name themselves. Maybe it's the first bit of freedom these middle schoolers get. And we're going with Little Ramen Noodle and Tuna Skin. So, interesting. They did say they're going to get back into the lobby. There's Contigan. Contad. I don't know. I'm just going to call him Conta. I'll call him Conta. That's fine. We got one. The new name left the game. So not sure what that's about. Not sure if he'll come back or not. We are just kind of chilling, waiting. Oh, new name is back. There we go.
Oh, wow. We have some subs here.
I think we are putting in the subs in this game.
Wow.
So I think last game may have been the full rosters. This game are the subs, it would appear. We do have some new names. Unfortunately for me, my guy is no longer in the game. So I have to pick a new one. I would ride or die Ramen Noodle, but I have to pick another one. I'm going to go with Hairstyles 247. We're getting into the game now. And we'll see if Hairstyles can get there. Another crazy name and a dominance player. Ooh, we have the Ecto R1. I think that's what it's called. From Landon is Cool. Love that. Love some fresh skins. When I'm coaching at the K through 12, half the time, my kids are just changing their skins. So we're seeing a lot of crazy skins here. We got the Peanut Man. We have the Beat Saber block. Just absolutely outrageous. And the Ghostbuster car. Middle schoolers just like to have fun. That's what I think I'm getting at here.
That's what this game is about. Just having fun with friends. That is what started it all. First playing Rocket League on the PS4. When it first came out, just with a group of friends. I think I made the Merc. Didn't really care about which car. It's good to see these kids aren't really focused or just caring about which car they're using. They're just in it for fun.
They are in it for fun. That might cost them a goal.
Tuna! Off the board.
It seems like I have picked the permanent goalie in Hairstyles. He is all the way back there. Maybe if he was playing a little bit more forward, he could have gotten that goal in the back of the net. But definitely a good chance for the orange team there.
It looks like we have reverted to the full-time goalie strat. I might have jinxed us.
At least for one game, or for one team, we are at the full-time goalie. It does look like Kanta is going to keep playing. No, Cuevas is full-time goalie as well. We are back to Season 1, ladies and gentlemen. Hairstyles, you're going to have to get up here. You're going to have to get a little more active. In the great words of Rico, you have to ooga booga sometimes. And, needs to get there for sure.
It is quite the series we have going on here. Exact opposite. Not anymore. Once again, we have Castle cursed it. It was all not enough for the first minute until, once again, TTV Kanta changes it for East Middle School. Let's see if her can answer. Hopefully Tuna Skin has something in the bag. Yeah,
you're sticking with your boy Tuna Skin. I picked Hairstyles. He Didn't quite get the save on that last one. Oh, we are going to see a demo out of EMS Eagle. No idea what that kid's actual gamer tag is. I have to think it's something wacky. Because I guess he didn't know his password. Maybe that's why we had such a long intermission trying to figure out that guy's password. But we are seeing a much closer game here. Certainly not 7 goals likely to happen for one team. That could also be a caster curse. I've never wielded such power, so you never know. We're going to see Tuniskin with a nice air dribble.
Dunk off the backboard. Lando unable to get the shot off.
Hairstyles getting physical. Doesn't quite get the block. Does bump. Hairstyles is a physical player. He's not a goalie. He's more like a right tackle, it would seem. Just absolutely getting in those guys' face. Back-to-back bumps to save a goal. Very hard to shoot the ball when you are getting bumped into the midfield.
Both Lando and Hairstyles are up. All 3 orange players were all up at once. This could be dangerous for East Middle School. It seems it's triple commit after triple commit. How many more times until it's going to be a goal? Could it even it up at 1?
I think it's very similar to last game where we have gotten away from the full-time goalie position, which is a good thing in the long run. But if you're not able to hang in the short run, you're going to have a lot of triple commits. We did see a demo into a bump from Hairstyles, and a nice double tap from Kanta. Catches them off guard, beats your boy Tuniskin. The ball bounces out mid, and Kanta's going to double tap it off the sidewall. Tuna couldn't quite get there. A nice, solid goal from Kanta. And, they're up 2-0. Not going to be 7 goals here, most likely. Tuniskin is going to get a kickoff goal. He is a kickoff merchant.
A kickoff merchant. Here we have it. That is 3 kickoff goals for the Herc side. That is their bread and butter. Can they get another one?
You have to think, have the players worked on the fabled Spanish kickoff with how good the team just seems to be naturally at kickoffs? Landon is going to put it on the backboard pretty high up there. Tuna gets a bump instead of a shot. There's a pass for Hairstyles. Doesn't quite get there. Orange team is going pretty brazy on the offense right now. Doesn't quite get those touches into net. Landon might be getting beat to near post here, and he is going to get hunted down by Kanta. A little undecisive about what he wants to do. Tuna gets a whiff. Hairstyles is following the ball like it is YMCA soccer, and unfortunately that leaves the last man to get demoed by Kanta. Just walks it in, after that. That's one of the things about Rocket League. No refs here, no red cards. You can absolutely demolish somebody, demolish the goalie, and get a free goal.
Out with another dribble. Great save on the goal line by Tuniskin. Can they come back? Can they have an answer? 35 seconds remaining in game number 2.
I do think it's interesting that not only did East substitute a few players in, but Herc also has a substitute with Hairstyles. Maybe it's understandable that East subs in because, they did win 7 goals to 2. But Hairstyles subbing in, very interesting. I'm not sure who they're going to put in for this third game. At 4-1, this game should be over. However, I will remind everyone that we did see 2 goals in 5 seconds last game.
If you're East Middle School, the famous lines, "We have entered secure the win mode" by athlete is in place.
Yeah, secure the win mode, not always about necessarily turtling up in the net. We don't want to play 3 full-time goalies. It's mostly about just not taking too many high risks and burn the clock when you can. It does seem that Kanta is doing just that, hitting it to the back post of the field. And they are going to take game 2. So East is up 2-0 on the series. Interesting game to say the least. I have to think that the EMS Eagle 1 player just has an outrageous name when you were comparing it with all these other players' names.
I agree. Interesting. Kanta scored 9 goals in 2 games. Some people don't even do that in an entire tournament. 9 goals in 2 games. 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 9 goals in 2
I've had days where I
No,
don't do it the whole day.
9 goals. Subbing once again.
We're getting more subs. These rosters have more players on their team than I have in my entire K through 12. Kind of ridiculous. We will see. It might be a little bit longer of an intermission. Kanta might be the kryptonite to Borky. We're gonna have to see in the finals potentially. You can only hope that we get that matchup, as both players are scoring multiple, 5, 6 goals in just a series.
I think that's going to be an amazing matchup. Except Tuniskin has something to say. He was saving it for game number 3. Back against the wall, the game starts off with a kickoff. Just like their soccer, some teams play for set pieces. Tuniskin plays for kickoffs. That's his bread and butter. I think he gets a kickoff goal if he is on it. We start the game off 1-0 for Herc.
Okay. Yeah, Tuniskin, what they say about pressure, it makes diamonds. The back is against the wall if he wants to make it to the finals here. Again, there will be a third place consolation match, but no one wants to travel 3.5 hours to play for third place. They want to play for the championship. And Tuniskin, he's been doing his best. It really is going to come down to all of these subs. I can't believe how many subs these teams have. Um, and maybe they come out here, and I would absolutely lose my mind if I saw a sub come in and he had a red tag on. Or a white tag would be crazy.
A white tag would indeed be crazy. Have you ever seen something like this? Where teams are just subbing in and out players constantly.
It really does not happen in the professional or college scene a whole lot. I can see the desire to have a bunch of subs at the middle school and high school leagues, because you never know. If you don't have a sub on the roster, it may be a player is sick, or maybe he's got a band concert or a track meet or whatever. They can't make it that day. If you don't have a sub on the roster, you're kind of just going to forfeit that match. So it does make sense to me with how busy school schedules are nowadays to have a bunch of subs, and especially if you travel 3.5 hours and you were sitting on that bus or in the car or however they traveled, and you just sit there and watch your teammates play, that's not a whole lot of fun either.
I definitely agree with that. Each individual has worked very hard to get to this point. To top 4 in Missouri is quite an achievement at a middle school level to start your career in competitive Rocket League.
Yeah, you never know. This could be, there's no cash prizing, but it is a state tournament. Maybe this is the very first step to some of these players getting a Liquipedia page and becoming bona fide professionals. You never do know. It did take a while to get the subs in. I believe they are playing on 6 computers up in Mexico, Missouri. And so they have to log out and they got to log in, and maybe there's an authentication code, and maybe we're in middle school, right? So maybe the parents are the ones getting the authorization codes and not the students. So it takes a while, a little bit of relay, a little bit of text, a little bit of call action. We did see Kanta and Tuna. They were the mainstays from the last time we subbed in players. Do you think they're going to stay in this time? Is your boy Tuna going to be in Game 3?
I mean, surely, I think you can't pull your best players. I mean, from what we've seen, I think Tuna and Kanta are respectively the top players on their team. Could be a change.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see if I can find Tuna Skin and tell the viewers at home where he's sitting at on the ranked ladder. I do think that's one of the more interesting things about esports is that when you're playing in traditional sports, you never do know exactly where you stack up with the rest of the world. Esports, it is a finger click away, and I can look you up immediately in almost every single case. So I can see maybe he's diamond, maybe hit champ. I'm not quite sure, but he does look very skilled on the pitch. He's definitely put in some time. I do see in the lobby a familiar face, my boy Little Ramen Noodle or girl, my dude. He's in here. I'm gonna see my first round draft pick in the third match.
Do you think a little ramen noodle, keyword one, is going to be able to overcome Conta this game for top goal scorer?
Well, it does
Well,
seem like they are putting in their starting roster. Little Ramen Noodle, Shadow, and Kanta are all in. They are taking this game very seriously after kind of scraping by the skin of their teeth, a 3-1 victory in the last one. They want to make the ship. They want to see what I want to see and what I think all the viewers at home want to see, the Borky Kanta 1v1 matchup. But with Shadow and Ramen, I mean, they're both very good players as well. I think Borky's going to have a tough time overcoming an entire team of competent players um, if they're playing as well as they were in the first game.
definitely agree with that. I think East Middle School is playing well together. Collective unit, moving up and down the field together. You know, game number 2, we saw the goalie strat come out. Game number 3, hopefully that goalie strat gets tucked away deep into the closet and has to never come out ever again. But we could say contemplate goalie. What if that happens? They let Little Ramen Noodle take over?
You know, I would love to see Little Ramen Noodle get some more action. He was my pick. Tuna Skin was your pick. We've yet to see any of the Herculean players join the server, so we don't know who's going to be on that team. Tuna Skin might have gotten the boot. You never know. It does
But
look
if they're
like, for the viewers at home, Tuna Skin hasn't been playing a lot this season, but he has hit Plat 2. And let me see here. His peak is Plat 2 last season, 757 hard-earned MMR.
are having to do the tutorial for the sub.
Okay, that makes sense. So, and for those of you that don't know, when you log into a new computer, if you were on Epic, actually maybe even on Steam, I haven't logged in with a new Steam account in a long time, but you do have to do the playable cinematic, which does take a while. However, the other two players could be in if they so choose. Maybe they are in free play, warming up, hitting those flip reset training packs. That'd be kind of crazy. We haven't seen one of those from Kanta. We did see a double tap. So which one is more impressive? The flip reset attempt that was not a goal, or the double tap that found the back of the net?
Personally, for me, I think I'm going to have to go with a flip reset. Because I don't think that's the first time Borky's ever flip reset. And if he just catches that ball right and gets it consistent, there's very little you can do to stop it.
The flip reset is one of the highest mechanical skills you can learn. Um, so I would tend to agree. However, counterpoint, it did not go in the net. So, you know, if it's not a goal, you can do all these fancy mechanics you want. I don't really care. If you can't get it on target and it's not in the net, doesn't matter.
We got Tuna Skin Lou, a new guy in.
Yeah, we do see a new name, Lou JB12. Landon and Tuna Skin are making another appearance. So you've had your pick in the whole time. I just
Oh
noticed that
no,
Landon has a plat tag, so we will see how that goes.
athlete, you missed the major thing. They are all in the Fortnite battle bus for game number 3.
And that is what the game is all about. They are in that free, you can claim it today, folks, Fortnite Battle Bus. And it's bringing the heat. I'm going to call it, that was a kickoff goal. Way to go, Tuna Skin.
The kickoff merchant himself, Tuna Skin, in one of the best cars Rocket League has to offer, the Fortnite Battle Bus.
Yeah, with Epic Games acquiring Rocket League, not much good has come of it. However, we do have the battle bus.
Now, the battle bus, I have seen some very mechanical players hit some of the nastiest flip resets in the battle bus. It does look wonky, and it's very hard to do because that hitbox is awful. But if it is pulled off, it is nearly unstoppable.
And, you know, from what I've seen 3 whiffs from the east side. I think their brains are just fried and scrambled by seeing these battle buses. Battle bus eye, if you will. Kanta does get a goal, though, so maybe
Kanta
not.
did not seem to be phased by the battle bus challenge whatsoever and slotted that one home to tie us up at 1.
Kanta versus Tuna Skin couldn't quite get that save. I think it's absolutely crazy to see the battle bus. The real question is, if Herc gets knocked down into the 3rd place consolation match, are they still going to use the battle bus? Shadow is going to get a nice free goal here. Rough defensive touch from Landon. Places it at the top box. Top box is where you want your teammate to pass it to you, not for you to pass it to the opponent. Does slot it in there for Shadow. It seems that the battle bus effect may be wearing off. About the first 30 seconds, it really scrambled the brains of East Middle School. However, I'm feeling that the battle bus effect is no longer with us here.
I think the battle bus, I think it's good. I think it's going to be used against them. However, it does show a lot of collaboration, and it shows teamwork. That's what we need here.
I do love the team chemistry to all agree to use the Fortnite battle bus. The coach allowing it to happen too also says something about just the overall atmosphere over there at Herculean High School.
There was just bumps going all around from Fortnite bus to Fortnite bus. Can we see a goal come out of Herc to tie us up at 2?
Yeah, one of the downsides is that the Fortnite bus is so small, they can't see each other. So they just keep bumping each other over and over.
Could be detrimental. Let's see if Lando's got anything.
Nice 50 from Tuna Skin in the corner. Doesn't allow anything to happen there. Landon is cool, going crazy. Really does bother me that he did not finish that word. Who does not sound very pleasant to be, but he is that apparently.
Apparently, we can see TTV Kanta trying to steal boost. Very, very good strategy here. Trying to steal boost from Tuna, who's in his half just being a pest. Will that strategy work out?
It is a tough strategy to pull off. If it is successful, though, boost is the only resource in the game. Able to steal it from your opponents, it's looking very good for you. And I will go ahead and say it, I might be caster cursing, but 2-1 is a much closer game than anything else we've had. Maybe game 2 was very similar, but that first game was certainly a blowout. 2-1 seems very nice. Kanta is going to snipe the back post corner with a nice power shot. Has plenty of room, plenty of time. Tuna low boost in the net, rotates mid-net instead of staying back post, and Kanta burns him for it. He says, I see your battle bus and I raise you a back post slot.
That is the Kanta specialty. They'll line it up and just power shot into the back of the net. He's done that. Now what is he at? He is at over 11 goals for the series. 3 games. What a performance he is putting up. How does Herc answer the 11 goals?
Yeah, Kanta theoretically averaging a hat trick a game, which if you said that to anybody in traditional soccer, they would absolutely lose their minds. You know, you do that for enough games in a row, people are already putting you with Messi and Ronaldo type category, and we're just seeing it from a middle school Rock League player here in Missouri.
So
Ooh, rough touch by Lou. Can Shadow put that away? He cannot. Ramen also cannot read it.
Double commit. It is a 1v1. Can Lou take advantage? Tuna Skin takes over. Great save by Kanto.
I like the fake attempt by Lou. Misses the ball. sets it up for Tuna. Tuna gets a nice rip on target, not quite a goal, but the creativity, you gotta love it.
There's battle buses flying all around, trying to scramble for 2 goals in 40 seconds. Can Herc pull it off?
It is looking unlikely. I do think that, maybe at this point you start thinking about just letting in a goal for Tuna to get back on to the kickoffs, and then start rolling the kickoffs from there.
That is what a kickoff merchant would love. Dangerous ball whipped in. Can Lando get it off the back wall? 3 battle buses in the corner. What can happen?
I think
Lando
the main
going up for it.
takeaway is that Herculean has, or no, East has a really good defense because they've only given up goals off the kickoff the whole series, and we will see East in the finals. We do have the third place consolation match coming up. It will be Herculean uh, versus I'm trying to remember the other names. No, it wasn't Central. Versus Reed
Reed
Springs
Springs.
for the third place. Herculean versus Reed Springs. We will have that in about 15 minutes. Let all the kids switch over, get warmed up, and any closing thoughts on that match?
It was a lot closer than our first series. I think we both missed the mark. We underestimated the powers of TTV. Usually, I'm not the biggest fan of TTV, but I think Contis changed my mind. He's making me a fan of the TTVs. I can't deny it. He was simply that guy. 11 goals in 3 games.
Yeah,
I
quite
mean,
the stat line from Kanta. You see TTV in high level lobbies, you almost regret queuing up, but you see it in the middle school esports scene, and you regret not picking them. So it's just how it is down here at the middle school level. TTV players very good at the game, it would appear. And like I said, we will be back at 11 o'clock, 15 minutes from now, to see Herculean versus Reed Springs for the third place match. Alrighty, folks, we are back. We are getting ready for that glorious third place matchup between Reed Spring and Herculean. We have seen all of these players so far. Maybe there's a sub in the mix. Apparently, a lot of these schools have plenty of students there in Mexico, Missouri to play. What do we think of the game so far, Rico? Where are we at?
I mean, honestly, I think it's very high quality for the middle school level, well above my expectations. Um, Going into this game against Reed Spring versus Herculaneum, um, I'm gonna have to go with Herc. I think they're still warm. It stings to be in a third place game, but I think they're warm. I think Tunis looking for revenge. I don't know about Reed Springs because they had one guy by the name of Borky soloing them. Herc plays as a team, so I think that might come to bite Reed Springs. I don't know. What do you think, an athlete?
Well, I do know something is that it is crypto pair, so I nailed it the very first time I said it. On the Reed Springs side. I do think that Reed Springs will get a little bit better of a showing here. However, Herculean does have that advantage, that very important advantage of being nice and warm off of a match. Maybe the juices are flowing. Maybe the comms are high. They did also just get done playing in the Fortnite Battle Bus, which is always a good time, and that might be the advantage they needed.
Do you think we'll see the Fortnite Battle Bus once again?
I can only hope we get the Fortnite Battle Bus somewhere on the pitch. I do love the Dominuses. I do love the Octanes. But the Battle Buses are my favorite. It does look like they've reverted back into full sweat mode into the Phoenix as we get
Oh,
into this very first match of the third place matchup.
we have Tuna Skin off the kickoff. Will it be another goal?
Tuna is absolutely ripping the kickoffs. I will say we never saw Reed Springs do a flip on the kickoff, and so inherently Herculean should just be faster to the ball and therefore maybe even more dangerous on the kickoffs.
Here comes Tuna. It's challenged by the crypto pair.
We are seeing the absolute sweatiest skins on the pitch. No battle buses to be found. Phoenix, Octanes, and maybe a Dominus over there in the corner. Yeah, there's a Dominus from Project. Crypto Pair is going to be in the net, is going to take a nice hard shot from Tuna Skin. Does deflect it this time. You have to think with a little bit better placement from Tuna. That's a goal on the next shot.
Definitely, for sure, coming out of Tuna. What I have noticed, both sides are bumping each other on the defensive half, and once again we see Tuna Skin get bumped out of the air by his teammate. I think the first goal is going to come from one side bumping their teammate out of the play.
Yeah, without doing the permanent goalie strategy, they are going to run into each other more often if they have not practiced those rotations. It is very hard to make sure that you don't run into each other. I see even high-level players smack each other in the face every now and then. It is not a pretty sight to behold.
No, and it usually is detrimental when you are double committing or bumping each other on the defensive end, because it not only takes out yourself, but it takes out your teammate, and his teammate is left in a 1v3 to defend for himself. We see Lando get up. Oh, drops it down mid almost. Can Herc keep the pressure on here? It seems they have in the first minute.
Seems like Tuna Skin may not be very comfortable going off the sidewall there. Could have kept in a lot of pressure on the opponent's half if he would have been able to hit that ball back in. Even if you don't get the cleanest hit, if you can keep the pressure and get it into their half, sometimes that's more beneficial than doing nothing. As we see Tuna Skin kind of get bumped off the ball. They do have a lot of pressure here though still. Can't quite get the ball on target. Not a whole lot of shots coming in. Definitely no goals yet. Very close matches for this third place game.
Definitely, for sure. I'm honestly surprised the goalie strategy hasn't come to hurt Reed Springs just yet. And oh, it's just bouncing across
It's on the goal line.
And
Tuna is going to push it
finally
in.
puts it in off of two different posts, just rolling, waiting to be tapped in.
Yeah, Tuna Skin does hit about every single piece of hardware on the goal. Does eventually push it in. That is the problem with playing the goalie play style, if that goalie does not get a clear off the rip, it's almost too late to do anything else about it.
That goalie style is very dangerous to play. Can Reed Springs make the comeback? Very well could happen. It is only a 1-goal game. Searching for that first one is the biggest task they're faced with.
Yeah, and I think with this close of a game, we may have our very first series that takes more than just 3 games to complete. We may have a legitimate 4, maybe 5-game series on our hands if they're going to be 1-goal games like this.
Definitely. I think that's what the fans are all wanting. A 5-goal thriller or a 5-game thriller would be insane for a third-place match. Coming all the way to the finals. And Tuniskin once again. I think Tuniskin might be our man to look out for. He is carrying her. Can he carry him to the third-place victory?
You did call him out on the last match. Here he's getting a nice 2-tap air dribble, which to surprising many people still works on Grand Champ and higher players. So he's just perfecting a craft that will service him for pretty much the rest of his career. The 2-tap air dribble is very effective, and he gets one going here in the MOSEF third-place match.
A lot of pressure to have here. Can Herc keep Reed Springs in? Oh, and a fatal mistake. Can Tuna get a hat trick? And Tuna scores a hat trick for game 1.
Yeah, Tuna putting on his best Borky impersonation by nailing a hat trick in this first game. Slight misread from Crypto on the third man agenda for just defending the net there. And Tuna's going to capitalize. I think the caster curse is actually real. I said this was a very close 1-goal game about 25 seconds ago, and it is now a 3-goal game, and it's looking more and more in control of Herc.
It does seem like it's always a caster curse with us. However, one theme remains present. There is one player who always carries. Game 1, Series 1, we saw Bork. Series 2, we saw Kanta. Series 3, I think our man Tuniskin wants this third-place trophy.
Yeah, it does look like we have a little bit more cohesion coming out of the Reed Springs side. Less goalie, more kind of just rotating around to get shots. And as I say that, they are going to get a nice long-distance snipe from Speedy Flash, the same player who was able to put a chink into Borky's armor in the first series. Gets one here. It might be a little too late for this game, but getting some momentum into the next game might be all they need.
2 goals, 15 seconds. We've seen crazier things in Rocket League. But does Tuniskin have a 4th in him?
Can't quite get the 4th one. Crypto Pair does go up very quickly, almost too quickly for himself as he does get the whiff. Tuniskin gonna hit it to the side. And it did seem like we had a small connection problem there toward the end of that game. We might get the server, who knows. Reed Springs showing very good sportsmanship, GGing even after a tough loss in the 3rd-place match, which might sting even more than their first loss. But Speedy does get that one long-range goal. Tuniskin dropping almost 700 points. And it does look like we're going to have either a sub or maybe I will remake the server. Herc has left the chat. They are subbing for Herc, it would appear. Subbing in the 3rd-place match seems asinine to me. However, like I said, these players did travel a considerable distance to Mexico, Missouri. The EU mind cannot comprehend how large Missouri is, and 3.5 hours, you want to play after that kind of drive.
That is quite a drive to play some Rocket League early in the morning for these middle schoolers. A lot of them aren't getting up that early to come and play. The question is, does Herc change Tuna? Do they pull the man?
I don't know. Like you said, can you pull, did the Spurs pull Tony Parker from the NBA Finals? I don't think so. The Cavs pulled LeBron back to the Cavaliers after his long career at the Lakers. You can't really just get rid of the hot hand of the best player, as you said last series. I don't know if they can really afford to give up Tuna. That was not a 7-2 uh, destruction like we saw before. That was only 3-1, and three of those goals all came from Tuna.
It kind of got a little dicey there towards the end. Little late mistake. Do you think that's something alluding to game number 2 from Reed Springs, moving off of that goal?
I think that Reed Springs has to take that momentum and turn it into some magic here. Realistically, Reed Springs has probably had less than 5 shots in the entire tournament so far, and I'll say at least I think 3 of them have gone in. At this level, the defense is not really the shining point. We've seen Kanta, we've seen Borky. They're doing offensive stuff. The defense is kind of slacking, and if you can get a nice hard shot on target at this level, it's likely to go in. I think that's really what Reed Springs got to focus on.
Honestly, I think Reed Springs' key to winning here is getting Herc to double commit. There's a lot of double commits especially in the air, bumping each other off the ball. One counterpart to that is Reed Springs is still playing with their goalkeeper. How do they kind of get him involved as a third man? If we can get him involved, I think we can get things moving around her pretty easy because they're double committing off the back walls, in the air. They're kind of nervous on defense when Reed Springs gets into the attacking third.
Yeah, the double commits are very rampant in this matchup for both sides, really. Um, but I think really all that game boiled down to was Tuna getting a few shots on. That's kind of it. And like I said, 3-1 for the majority of that game. That game was either tied at 0 or was a 1-0 game. The vast majority. I would love nothing more than to see a game that is not just a straight sweep here in the third place matchup. I have a feeling we will see at least game 4 in the finals. Uh, but, I would like there to not be a 3-0, especially in this matchup. Both of these teams have already gotten 3-0'd. To go 6-0 on the day to end your entire season would be quite devastating. Might have to take a slight break from Rocket League for a week or two. Not too long because you'll get rusty really quick, but going 0-6 in the state finals, not any way someone wants to go out.
Definitely not after driving 6 hours. That's what nobody plans is to go 0-6. Hopefully Reed Springs can turn it around here in game 2.
Yeah, that would be a long bus ride home. Unlike last weekend, these players are not, with another team competing tomorrow. This is it. I don't believe there's any other middle school thing happening this weekend. And so maybe Herc, I think it's a K through 12, so maybe they have some high schoolers playing. But you're really here just for this. And so you don't want to go back on that bus ride or in that car ride, however you got to Mexico, Missouri, with your head down.
We are having some computer issues, it looks like.
Yeah, we are getting word from a coach that there is a keyboard and mouse issue. I do not know if that means a keyboard and mouse player. That would be crazy.
There is some keyboard and mouse players that are very high up in Rocket League. They are very mechanical, but not many people like them. It's much harder to play Rocket League on a keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, it takes a different type of skill set to be successful on keyboard and mouse. Some I do know that some middle schoolers they do love their Minecraft. They start on Minecraft, their keyboard and mouse on there. They start playing a more competitive game like Rocket League, and they just want to stick with what they know instead of learning controller, which is fair, but it does take a long time and a different type of work ethic to get good at keyboard and mouse.
For sure. I know messing around when I'm playing with my friends who aren't the best at this game, they do make me go keyboard and mouse while they play controller, and it is one of the most difficult games to play on keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, it turns out that having a binary system for a game that is very fluid, very difficult to control. But like you said, there are some people on keyboard and mouse that would put us in a blender and absolutely demolish us. So it is a viable pathway. It is just an uphill battle. Um, and as long as the kids know that that is a part of the game, uh, they can play however they want. You can play on a SpongeBob GameCube controller for all I care. If you're hitting SSL, I don't really care what you play on. You're a good player.
I mean, SSL is SSL, whether it's keyboard, whether it's controller, it is still the top rank in the game. So few people achieve it every season. It is so difficult to achieve it.
Yeah, if you're a good player at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you play on. We've seen there's even a few players in the professional RLCS scene now that began playing on the Nintendo Switch, which is crazy because it is a horrible gaming experience on the Switch. 30 frames a second, extreme input delay. But some of these kids, they put the ankle weights on of playing on the Switch and they take them off when they get to the computer and all of a sudden they are absolutely crazy at the game.
The Switch kids are built different. We've seen some of the top players in the Rocket League scene now come from Switch.
Yeah, so some very good players. Again, we don't know. We just have the word there is a keyboard and mouse issue. Do not know if that means the player is using that. Um, but one of the issues from being remote down here in Springfield and where Rico is at, we are not at Mexico, Missouri. I cannot see what is happening there. Uh, I only can imagine the meme where the dog is filing paperwork that is on fire happening at MOSEF right now with all these tutorials and substitutions happening.
Who do you think the super sub is this time?
Well, I have to imagine they only have 5 players probably there for Herc. It is Herc subbing. So who did they have last time?
Was it
Um,
EMS Eagle?
no, EMS Eagle was the East team, I believe. Let me look it up. For all those watching at home, I have uploaded all of these games onto Ball Chasing. So if you want to go back and relive the glory days of middle school Rocket League, the replays are on ballchasing.com under my profile. They are uploaded by my Steam profile, so you can go back and check these out. Let me see here. I believe you can. Hopefully it has been saving them. That is not good. Interesting. Um, I might take that back. I don't know if they've been saved. I will save the rest of them manually because it saved our 1v1s, Rico, but it did not save the spectator games.
Hmm,
Very interesting.
that's
Okay,
weird.
I will. I apologize for not saving the first couple of matches. I will save the rest of them manually and I will upload them. Unfortunately, I cannot see who the super sub was um, last time, but I will upload the rest of them. That's on me. That's my bad. I thought it would save them if I was a spectator, like it should, but it has not. Maybe that's a setting. Um, I do not know. That's okay. I'll just manually save them. We'll get them up and running. Just like MOSEF, there are some technical issues on my end, apparently, and I apologize. I will definitely have the full final saved. You can bet on that one. I don't know. We're not getting any more word from the production or from the directors of MOSEF. I might swing us to a BRB screen and see you all in a few. Um, do we think that there's going to be a game 4? Is this just going to be a straight sweep, Rico?
Oh, hold on. They're loading in.
They're loading in. I
They're
lied.
getting in.
Oh, I forgot. Psycho is one of them. Is that a brand new name? I think I saw one in the corner that I did not recognize.
We got
Crypto Pair, Pro J Money, Speedy Flash, Tuna Skin, Lando, and Psycho. It turns out is going to be the sub. We did last time we saw Psycho. He was struggling on the defensive end, and we will see if the same rings true here. We do have a good kickoff. Unfortunately, Tuna was not on the kickoff. As we know, he is an absolute kickoff merchant. He's kind of just a goal-scoring merchant so far in this series. Psycho does need to get to this ball very quickly unless Pro J Money is going to get a shot. Does get the tap away. Ends up being Lando doing that. Or Landon. You keep making me call him Lando now.
I just call him Lando. Psycho looks like he's going hard third man. I think we're seeing it whipped back out. RLCS season 1, both teams going to the goalie strategy. Honestly, with Tuna just letting him ball chase, I don't know if it's the worst idea.
I do think it's rather interesting. If you look at strategies from the early days of professional Rocket League, you now see them just being an inherent, an innate skill, I guess, in the lower level, in the lower ranks of Rocket League. And these players probably have no idea who Gibbs even is. But they are mimicking him to a T by playing that full-time goalie position.
Gibbs, the GOAT, one of the greatest goalkeepers of all time the game has ever seen.
Yes, mainly because there are no longer just straight goalkeepers in the game.
A man who paved the path for many. A career path that no longer exists.
He is still paving the path here in MOSEF Middle School Rocket League as Pro J Money and Psycho are playing that hard third man goalie type of role. We are almost 2 minutes in here with no goals. I think that begs the question, if they want to play like Gibbs, do they have a Kronovi on their team? For Reed Springs, the answer it has been not yet, but maybe.
Psycho with a chance here. Reed Springs is stuck in the defense path. How are they going to get out? Psycho has entered the game, and it's quite the force in the offensive half already. Just keeping the pressure in. He has shied away from his position as goalkeeper and is now very far up in the offensive third and refuses to leave.
You have to love the dichotomy of just the absolute flip of a switch by playing full-time goalkeeper to being an absolute ball chaser. Usually you have to pick one or the other. Here, Psycho is picking both. He is unfazed. Crypto Pair is going to take it down the field here. Might get a 50, not quite. Brushed away by Psycho. Scoonskin gets the hit up. Speedy Flash is staying hard put in the net. There he goes. Now he's out there. And he is also playing some offense. He gets a shot on target. I don't know where third man was, but Speedy Flash goes coast to coast like vintage MJ from one into the other. A free net, and he's going to say thank you very much.
We saw Psycho got called out of net there. He was just fiending for that offense. He just wanted to play it so much. Herc had so much pressure in the offensive half. 2 minutes left. How are they going to come back? Can they take game number 2 away from Reed Springs?
Just talking about how if you're going to be a Gibbs, you need a Kronovi. Maybe Speedy is trying to be that Kronovi while Tuna is the Kronovi for his team. You never do know. And it looks like Tuna is going to get a shot on target. Crypto is going to be the goalkeeper on that one. Digs it out of the back of the net. It had to have been at least 80% of the way to a goal. And he just stops it in its tracks.
Landon putting pressure on Reed Springs. Trying to make something happen out of nothing. Tuna puts it off the crossbar. Can they keep the pressure in? Reed Springs is trying to find a way out. Herc is confused in the offensive half. Not sure where we are. Sykes still in the back of the net. Tuna is ball chasing. Just some absolute madness happening here with a minute left in the third place game.
Yeah, 1 goal game 30 or 60 seconds left. We are looking at a very close series, and if Reed Springs can hold on to this lead, we will be seeing our very first game 4, which would be quite phenomenal. I would love to see that. You know, you drive 3.5 hours, 7 hours total if you go both ways, which you do have to go home at some point. You don't want to go home with not a single win under your belt. It would be a great thing here. Completely unbiased, but I would love to see both teams have a win on the day.
That is the goal. At least one game win. Driving that long and not coming back with any results is quite tough. Can Herc pull it out of game number 2?
It does seem that Speedy is trying to do his best me impersonation, play that goal, waste that time, make sure nothing gets past you. And the ball is still up in the air. However, I don't know if the skills to pay the bills to dribble the ball all the way downfield are quite apparent. Crypto does keep it up like an absolute psychopath, and the ball will fall down eventually. Thankfully, Reed Springs does get their very first win on the day. You'll love to see it. Both teams have a game win under their belt. I am going to go ahead and manually save this so I don't forget to upload it. All right. That was a very, very nice game from the players. You have to think here, Herc did substitute that game. I almost wonder if they are regretting that decision and if they're going to put in the starting roster again. It does say, we did get the word from the coach, there will be no subs this time. They enjoy the very close match that was. A 1-0 loss for Herc, although it was very close. And in the end, it took an NBA flu game type of approach from Speedy, coast to coast, and really airman dunking that thing in.
It seems like our man Tuna, it wasn't to be found that game. Can he come back for game number 3? Let's find out.
Yeah, Tuna didn't quite get one in the net. If you do remember, he did have that absolute rocket off the crossbar. If that was about 2 or 3 feet lower, maybe he could have done something with that. Psycho is going to get caught in a very awkward situation for him. He is not comfortable aerialing. Pro J Money sees the awkwardness and pulls out his best Master Chief impersonation to just absolutely obliterate the opponents. I respect the 117 homage there, Pro J Money.
It was quite the shot from Pro J Money. However, something noted. These car designs are something else. I have never seen such unique car designs in my life.
I don't think I didn't even know that the cooked turkey was a topper in the game. And that seems to be the topper of choice for the current goal leader in Pro J Money. We are going to see some tough defense by Speedy. It seems that Speedy may be taking a back seat. I don't love it, as he is the leading goal scorer for Reed Springs. Would like to see him on offense and not defense. If Pro J Money can get the goals, and that's fine. But Speedy, like I said, has scored the most goals, and I'd like to see him up there. A 1-goal lead, as you know, Rico, is not sufficient to win a whole lot of games, especially when you have the threat that is Tuna Skin. And Lando going for an air dribble there actually almost gets it on target. Very close. But with Tuna Skin having the potential to score 2 goals in 5 seconds, a 1-goal lead is not sufficient.
It just seems like Herc has so much pressure, but just nothing's coming of it. Surely the bubble has to burst here pretty soon. Here it is for Tuna, and the bubble is burst. Tuna Skin is back on the board, looking to carry Herc. Landon with a nice dribble, unable to finish around Pro J Money, and J Money was just unable to get the good clear. Tuna Skin just taps that one home. Now we're all knotted up at 1.
Yeah, Landon forcing a 50 on the goal line. The goalie is taken out of the play. The C really does just open up for a shot, and they just took care of business. There is something to be said about needing that composure to strike the ball hard and on target, even out an open net. A lot of people will tell you that open nets are the hardest, because you just get into your own head and you psych yourself out.
They are the hardest. So many open nets missed, even at the pro levels. I think it was Monkey Moon the other weekend was getting made fun of for missing a few, and just was getting dogged on Twitter for it.
Yeah, the good news about MOSEF is that you will not get dogged on on Twitter for missing your open nets. The pros absolutely do get clowned on. So don't worry about missing the open nets. But, you know, obviously you need to put those in if you want to win. Monkey Moon did not win, I don't believe. And neither will you if you do not hit your opens.
That is true. One thing is a quick way to lose is the double commits, and we have resorted back to the double commits from the Herc side. I don't know. It is bumps all around. Complete madness. Whiffs, bumps, demos. I don't know what's going on. It is insane chaos right now as they're fighting to get game number 3.
Now, you can say all you want about Rocket League, but there's no lack of action. Bumps, demos, shots, double commits, aerials, everything is happening. And this is just at the middle school level. The high school, college, professional level, even more so candy for the TikTok brain. Just so much action all the time.
Here comes a 1v1 from Tuniskin. Rips it Arnett. Speedy with the save. Landon keeping the ball in. Tuna's gonna go for it. Tuna does a fake. Not sure if that was meant.
Absolutely calculated fake from Tuna there. It is a double-edged sword, Rico. We're seeing Speedy lock down the defense, and although he is doing just that and not allowing any goals, it does seem very difficult. We're going to see a crazy pass from Landon right onto Tuniskin's dome. I don't know if this was planned, but what a nasty pass that was. I can only imagine that was communicated. That might honestly be the goal of the day because of the teamwork.
We're not sure if that was a pass or not, but I'll play it off as one. That was an amazing pass. As I like to say, Tom Brady in the pocket came from Landon to put his team up by 1 with 1 minute remaining. Tuniskin dribbles over the net. Crypto Bears there, trying to get out of the defensive half. Beats 1. Is unable to get a shot on net. Here comes the doubles. It is chaos in front of the blue net.
We are seeing some small whiffs. Tuna is going to get in there. You are 100% on the players you've picked so far today, Rico. They are absolutely, they're absolutely going crazy today. I got so excited I had to sneeze for Tuna Skin. He's got all 3 goals for his team again.
I mean, we've talked about it in every series. There's just that one guy who cannot be stopped. He will score no matter what. This is a lot like game number 1 we saw. Hand Reed Springs changed the outcome this time. Tuniskin back on defense. Quite awkward. Trying to get out. Gets a little tap. Pro J Money back to the corner. Still very awkward for her. Trying to hold on to their lead and take game 3 in this series.
Yeah, you can really see, I think the biggest issue for Herc, the biggest weak point for Reed Springs to exploit is going to be the walls. Even Tuna Skin does not look comfortable on the walls. He may need some help.
However, he may look uncomfortable on the walls, but he's comfortable in front of the net as he slides 3 past Reed Springs in game number 3. Do we think we're going to have another big performance out of Tuna Skin for game number 4?
You know, I can only hope so. I think that Tuna Skin is really the make or break of this roster. Unfortunately, you don't love to see one player have all that weight on his shoulders. But if they are able to rise to the challenge, they might just be okay here.
This might be the roster as we're getting information. There's no subs again for game number 4.
Game number 4, I did finally
have it figured out.
I finally remembered to switch the stadium. Hopefully that does not catch anyone off guard. Trying to keep with our RLCS rotation here. It is tough for a I'm not a one-man band over here, but as far as the Rocket League side of things, production is all me today, so that's good. We are going to hop back in here. This is personally my favorite map. I love that it's Utopia Dusk, a classic, gorgeous map. And we'll see if Reed Springs can pull out a second game here. I think that they have learned. Oh, what a shot
Once
from
again,
Tuna.
Tuna Skin, the man that cannot be stopped. He is a force. Just a long-range shot, difficult to deal with. Pro J Money just kind of caught off guard that Tuna's able to put that on net from so far with so much pace. 1-0
Yeah,
with 4:50 left to play in game number 4. Everything to win for Herc, everything to lose for Reed Springs.
I think the big difference of this game for me is going to be for Reed Springs to use Speedy more often, as he was playing mostly goalie last game, and they just did not have the offense to compete with Tuna Skin. Now, like I said, it is a double-edged sword. You know, maybe you get scored on less, but you're also scoring less. And that's, you do need to score goals at the end of the day to win the game.
That is very true. We have seen this, and we talked about it all day, how playing goalie can hurt you, and we've seen it taken advantage of as Herc is able to play with all 3 players up in the offensive half. The majority of all 4 games have been played in the Reed Springs half.
Yeah, we are seeing quite the matchup here. Both teams kind of utilizing that goalie strategy. However, the big takeaway is that Tuna is not the one playing the goalie strategy. But Speedy is. Speedy has gotten the most goals for Reed Springs, so it is very difficult to watch him play goalie. However, maybe Money is hearing me talk trash, and he said, I can also score. Look at me. Psycho doesn't come out of the net quick enough. Does need to collapse on that ball a little bit faster. Money has his choice of where to hit the ball on target into the back of the net, and we're in a tied game again.
I mean, we have a classic Rocket League shootout here, just back and forth, game after game.
And that might be a goal just by itself, almost a 50-50 into the back of the net off the ceiling. I do have a question for you, Rico, about Tuna. Is he beating the kickoff merchant allegations after getting all these normie goals?
I mean, I don't think he will beat the allegations of being a kickoff merchant because that is his bread and butter. However, he showed us he is an all-around goal scorer. Just because you can score off a set piece in soccer doesn't mean you can't score in the field of play, as Tuna has showed us here.
He does take it up and over 2 players there. However, there's an outlet pass because of the double commit. Doesn't quite get the shot on target. We're going back to the thinking that really we just need some hard shots on target. It may not be amazing.
And Tuna once again. The man that cannot be stopped in front of the net. 2 goals in game number 4.
You have to give props to Landon. He has fed Tuna a good amount of his goals in this series. Nice passes off the sidewall, into midfield, and that one crazy pass from last game, like I said, might be goal of the tournament, just because of the straight teamwork.
I definitely agree with goal of the tournament. Can we see Lando just keep feeding the ball to Tuna? I think that's where Herc is finding success against Reed Springs right now. Just keep funneling that ball into the midfield to Tuna and letting him rip.
Yeah, we have Psycho and Speedy staring each other down from goalpost to goalpost, waiting for the action, making sure their cat-like reflexes are on point. They do not want to let any more goals in. These games have been decided by as few as 1 goal. So really any goal you let in can be detrimental.
It appears Psycho has already entered secure the win mode with 1:48 left. He is camped out.
Oh,
That's
Crypto does get a demo, causes absolute chaos on the goal line. He does get a goal out of it. Crypto going crazy. 1 demo sends Herc into a blender of emotions, and they double commit. There is a bump on the backside from Pro J Money as well. Crypto's going to reap his own rewards, and it's tied up 2-2.
That's where we see the issue. That's what Gibbs faced. How do you deal with demos? That is how the goalie strategy is no longer useful. Simply demoing the goalie takes him out and leaves you left in a 2v3 on defense.
Yeah, with no red cards to be given, you can really just absolutely demolish the goalie. You can send him to the hospital, and there will be no punishment, as that is just part of the game here in Rocket League. It's more like hockey in that way, where there are penalties, kind of, but you can really get physical with your opponents. There is going to be almost an own goal.
Almost an own goal from Tuna with a minute left.
Oh
Herc
my
is
goodness!
in all sorts of trouble. Triple commits, double commits, fakes, balls rolling around across the net. They finally get out of the defensive half. Can we see what we've seen here? They've been playing in Reed Springs for the majority, but in the last minute it has flipped. The tides, I think, have changed. Reed Springs might squeak one out here and take us to a Game 5.
A Game 5 would be absolutely nutty. We also have not seen a single overtime all day today. We might see some in the finals, but a Game 5 would be crazy. Again, love seeing the teams get back-to-back or get some dubs under their belt. That is going to be a miss from the aerial. Crypto Pair is there. Maybe this was all along. Crypto had not scored pretty much the whole day, and now he has the most important goals for Reed Springs.
I'd say Crypto just scored one of the most important goals of the day. The real question is, can Herc answer for an overtime? Or will we be heading to a game number 5?
Game 5 would be absolutely juicy. I would love to see that. I might have to ask Crypto Pair what stocks to get or what crypto to buy if he is able to pull out the W here.
Something to note from that game, both goalkeepers, I believe, had under 50 points. Speedy Flash, his only set was a demo.
Yeah, you don't get a whole lot of points being a goalkeeper. We do have to see an absolute Herculean effort from a Reed Springs players. 500 points and 400 points for two of them. Ironic that the non-Herculean school has to have Herculean effort.
It is very ironic.
Herc is going to sub. They are taking this last game more seriously. We are headed to Champions Field. That's when you know the games are getting a little bit more sweaty.
Champions Field, game number 5. Third place title on the line. Who do you think comes out with this one, athlete?
Well, you have to think with Herc taking the game as serious as possible. Ideally, I can only assume they are subbing Psycho out for their usual third man. You have to assume that putting in or taking out the sub is going to secure the win whenever all the games are just one-goal games.
That is very true. If I had to make a prediction right now, I think Reed Springs might take this game. They have all the momentum. However, when they do get pinned in, it's dangerous. But when they get out, they are even more dangerous in the offensive half. They put Herc on their heels. They bump. They demo. They're scrappy in the offensive half. And I think that's going to get them to a third-place match here today.
Yeah, if you can get Tuna Skin out and about and causing havoc more often, he's going to be tough to stop. I'm really looking, I guess, now at Crypto Pair to be the one to step up here with those two huge goals in the last game. Speedy Flash is still their leading scorer for sure, but he just was not able to get out there. Being that full-time goalie role, very difficult to get up. But Crypto got a demo into a bump, and then Lando got a bump, and that whole situation was just absolutely brutal to watch unfold.
I mean, just absolute chaos in game number 4. Game number 5.
Oh!
Possibly the biggest game of their careers.
We are seeing Hairstyles get subbed in, who I believe was their 5th man, and not their 3rd man. getting subbed in for Psycho. So we will see how that turns out. All these one-goal games, you're really banking on Tuna Skin, and I guess really any of the three players from Reed Springs to do some big time heavy lifting here. We've seen all three players get multiple goals in different games.
Do you think hairstyles is the answer? The
I don't
super
know.
sub?
He looked a little sketchy in the air. He does not seem very comfortable aerialing, or they don't seem very comfortable aerialing. Um, but if they can play that lockdown defense, and if Tuna feels more comfortable with hairstyles in the net, maybe that is the key. I will note there are no battle buses coming out from Herc this time, and that was a possibility.
Honestly, to me, that's kind of disappointing. I like the camaraderie with the battle buses, and they started off hot in the battle buses.
Yeah, when you have the team chemistry like that to all use battle bus, you might be able to get a few more goals, a few more passes, a few more shots. As we are going to go ahead and switch over into the game, we do see J Money. It seems like he has drawn the short straw of playing defense this game. It's very random who Reed Springs decides to put on the back burner. Realistically, I would like to see them move into that more rotational type of play style, just because we've seen all three of them be fairly competent when it comes to scoring.
I definitely agree with that. Each Reed Springs player has a few goals, and I think they start rotating more. They could cause trouble for Herc in the offensive half. He might get caught out here. Tuniskin with a shot. Crypto with an amazing save to keep the game knotted up at 0 with 3:40 left to play in this final game of the third place match for MOSEF.
Yeah, we did see a risky back pass from Speedy there, cutting off the midfield rotation to pass it to the net. Very risky, as it is not an unheard of thing to just miss the ball when you're in net like that. We see another risky back pass. Maybe Reed Springs is feeling the camaraderie. They have never been in battle buses together, but something is definitely clicking on this game.
The risk versus reward for those back passes is quite high. They haven't seen the reward come out yet, but the risk hasn't bit them in the butt yet to knock them down to go 1-0 down.
We are going to see a double commit from second and third man. If they could get a nice hard shot on it, might have been a goal. Landon does miss. Tuniskin bails on his attempt, and now he's air dribbling to his own half. We need the Mario Kart wrong way character to be popping up here. We need to go the other direction, Mr. Tunafish. Tuniskin.
This is probably going to be a caster's curse. Could we see our first overtime in game number 5?
A game 5 overtime in the third place matchup would be very spicy. Would love to see it. I'm already feeling blessed to even see a not 3-0. It was looking kind of grim for the bracket with every game being 3-0. That is a nice shot, hard shot from Tuniskin. Pro J Money just overshoots the aerial. That full-time goalie, you don't go into the aerial with any momentum. Comes out with nothing, does flip into it, slightly misses it. Tuniskin's gonna catch that bag. And as we say in Rocket League, you gotta feel for the side of Reed Springs.
That was a tough goal for Reed Springs. I believe Pro J Money can make a comeback though. He's gonna want to get that one back for his team. With all the pressure, I think they can come out and bring this game into overtime.
Yeah, they definitely could. It looks like Tuniskin's going for a flip reset, which is very strange to pull that out in Game 5. You have to think if he pulled it out any of the games they lost, may have caught a dub on those, but he is going for some crazy mechanical plays. He must feel more comfortable with the defense on his team this game than he did last game, going for flip resets and air dribbles out the wazoo.
Dangerous ball. 125 left to play. Reed Springs is putting on the pressure. Dangerous 50 in the middle. Tuna is up.
That's a rough touch from Tuna. Can there be a shot from Crypto
Crypto
Perry? He
Bear.
is coming in. He does chip the first defender. He goes for the second aerial. Not quite. Landon does get a nice little touch to the side. It's going to be a 1v1 Tuna Skin versus Pro J Money. He's going to be able to rip the shot. Hits the crossbar as per usual, unfortunately for Tuna Skin in this series. Uh, Quite the attempt. Only a minute left here.
Minute left to play. The pressure's on. It looks like it's switched. Herc is realizing they might have to get another one in order to seal the deal. Tuna Skin is putting on the pressure. Reed Springs looks to be holding up against well.
Now, Respring's doing their absolute most here. Tuna Skin is up in the air. Might get a shot on target. Does get a shot. Crypto is there. He is not going to be fooled by that aerial fake. He might even rip it on target here. That's a nice bump up. Can Speedy or Crypto get a ball on it? They can, but Landon is there. The defense is coming out. Tuna Skin has another 1v1 versus Pro J Money, and this time Pro J Money comes out on top.
Pro J Money with a crucial save there. Crypto Pair with a fake. Pro J Money with a shot. Oh! No goal! 10 seconds
Oh, the
left.
triple commit in the
Madness
box.
in Game 5.
The team
Oh,
bump
it's all
into
free.
Landon.
One more chance for Reed Springs. Can they get it? The
I do
ball
not
must
think the
stay up.
mechanical ability is here to keep the ball up, and they couldn't quite secure it. Game 5 goes to Herculean. Wow, what a game. One shot basically secured the game. One whip on the goal line. Unfortunately, that is going to be it. GG's to these middle school players. A great season. Again, to remind the folks at home, there has been an entire semester leading up to these players getting the privilege to play in front of you all, and giving us the privilege to watch. They've played an entire season to get to this point, to top 4. I believe they will all be walking away with hardware to take home to their schools, which is a great benefit. And they get some eyes on them here at MOSEF.
I mean, it's a great platform at MOSEF. All these players work super hard this semester. Everyone hold your heads high. It's an amazing accomplishment to be this far into Rocket League at such a young age. Great games from everybody today. Congratulations to Herc for winning that third place game.
Yeah, we will be coming back in about 10 minutes to the grand finals. Again, just for those folks at home, the grand finals will be between Central Junior and East Middle School. We will see them again. We have at least one Grand Champ confirmed player, which in middle school is absolutely bonkers. We will see them in about 10 minutes, so don't go anywhere. All right, and welcome back. We are just about into the MOSEF Middle School State Finals. We do have Central versus East. Those are the actual names of the middle schools. This is kind of crazy. Very good players on both ends. We saw stars such as Kanta and Borky. So those are going to be the two biggest players to watch out for here. Shadow as well was doing pretty good. The biggest thing for me is that neither of these teams, at least formerly, did not play full-time goalie type of strategies. So they are definitely leveled up on that end. Any idea how this game's going to go, Rico?
Oh gosh, it could go either way. We got Borky who was peaking at our first series of the day, or we had Kanta in our second series of the day who was going crazy. I think I'm gonna have to go with East. Gotta go with the boys from Southwest Missouri and represent.
Yeah, that's fair. Most of these players have had what will be a long day today. Uh, 3, 4 hours there, 3, 4 hours back. We've been live for just over 3 hours here at MOSEF. So it has been a long day for the players. Almost been a long day for me. Getting up at and being ready early is a difficult task for gamers, and these middle schoolers are no different.
Yeah, the old gamers, they eating the pizza rolls at 4 o'clock in the morning. Some of them might be hopping on the bus ride at 5:30 after game until late last night. Let's see
Yeah,
MVP for the finals. Your
I
prediction.
I think that I'm gonna go with Kanta. I do believe in the power of a full team instead of just one player carrying. We will be able to see if the other players for Central are up to snuff, or for East are up to snuff or not. For Central, I got it right. Stuff here. They didn't really need to do a whole lot in their first matchup. Just as a reminder, folks, we do have at least one Grand Champ level player here in the Content and Shadow, likely not far behind, uh, as they are also very talented players in their own right. Pretty much everyone here has played a full season. They've earned their right to be here. All these players are some of the best middle school age players in the state. So really cool to get a look at what is likely to be the future high school stars, as well as potentially college players in the future. We've seen some most of the players get picked up by colleges in the past. For whatever reason, Missouri does breed a lot of esports talent. Uh, so you never know who you might see later on all through the games.
1 minute, it's gone by, no goals. Can East break down Central defensive half in Borky? Borky looking to go on an offensive strike.
Yeah, Borky is playing upfield quite heavily. He's gonna have to. Like I said, we didn't get to see a whole lot of Raptor or Yari in the first matchup for East, but the full team was relatively apparent in Central's matchup, and they were doing a little bit of everything.
Yari beats one man. Does not get it around Shadow. Dangerous ball. Raptor with a missed clear. And Kanta is up trying to block it from Borky.
I will say I am still rooting for my favorite name of the day in Little Ramen Noodle 1. Definitely an off-the-wall, quirky name, but I think he has a chance to really be the difference maker. If Shadow and Kanta can keep up with Borky, maybe Ramen can keep up with the other two and really fight for the dub.
Hopefully, we see East breaking through, maybe. Kanta trying to retreat now. It looks like Central might have resorted back to the goalie strategy.
They may have. I did see that was a very nice pass coming in from them. Didn't quite get the ball on target. Almost a pinch into the net for the blue team. But they are really playing cohesively here, laying the ball off, getting the ball over. Little Ramen Noodle going
Oh
over
my.
two
Oh my. I
with
think we
the
just
air
have goal of
dribble.
the day, athlete.
That might be goal of the day. It was a little bit of teamwork. He gets it over Borky, flips it in over Raptor. That's definitely top 5 for me, probably top 3. I do still really like the goal we saw last series with the drop down. Just a crazy pass. Really, was that what it was. But, Little Ramen, I told you I thought he was going to be the difference maker. He gets an air dribble into a delayed flip, and it catches both off guard, including who, primarily is in the running for MVP candidate in Borky.
Gosh. Or he gets a demo. That could be crucial here as they break out. It is a 1v2. Kanta is trying to defend. He somehow takes it and he's going to counter here. Little Ramen back in the action. Going for a second. Unable to get it.
We didn't get to see a whole lot of demos from Central last time they played, but if they're going to start demoing this time, that might be the secret sauce, especially if they can get Borky. Unfortunately, Borky is not going to miss the easy net. Nice pass from Raptor. It's a nice, easy floater mid-net, and Borky middles it to secure the tie.
We got 1-1 with a minute 15 left. Could we be seeing our first overtime game in the championship game?
That would be pretty crazy. I am a fan of the overtimes. I suppose we didn't get a single one last time either. There is more potential here than there was in the other games, that's for sure. Great defense being played. The better the defense, the less goals are going to be, the more often you're going to be tied at some point. We are seeing some demos coming in from the east side. And we're seeing some double commits from Borky. If they can get Borky jumping at some silly things and they can capitalize on that, we might be looking pretty good here. Kanta goes for a cut pinch, doesn't quite get it. I've been there, done that. Borky going for the cross-up air dribble, but no boost. Shadow bails out of it. Borky does get the boost to keep challenging. And Kanta's going to take it down the field nice and easy. Gets on Borky's back. Borky may be outplaying himself here with a slight air dribble mistake.
Little Ramen with 10 seconds left is being forced back on defense. What a save from Shadow. Can Little Ramen bring it home? Tries to keep it up with 0 seconds left. Ball still in the air. And it is dropped. Our first overtime game of the day.
Yes, it's taken a good amount of games, but we finally got into an overtime here in the middle school division. Like I said, the defense is much better here. I could see a lesser player really fumbling the bag on that last defensive stand, but Ramen held strong. Shadow helped him out. We might see a pass here middle off the bump on Yari. Borky is going to crash. Borky does fake the last player, and he's going to walk it in and just say, thank you, I will take the win. I appreciate it quite a lot. Kanta with the slight whiff. Thought Raptor was going to hit it. Raptor whiffs it. Borky ends up taking the game home. And he's not going to miss those, ladies and gentlemen.
Game number 1 saw Central take it home. Yaris, we thought wasn't going to revert strategy, but he did during some times in the match. That could be dangerous leading into game 2 if Kaza and Little Ramen and Shadow all get it together and start ripping shots on our net.
We need to go to Forbidden Temple. All right, there will be no subs. I wasn't expecting any. You really can't afford to put a sub in when you only win by 1. Borky did do quite a bit of work. Obviously got both goals. Did take 7 shots. Overall, he had more shots than the entirety of the East team. But like I said earlier today, they don't ask how, they ask how many. And, at the end of the day, he only got 2 goals. It was a 1-goal game. Definitely can't toss any subs here.
Definitely not. Just got to stick with the starting roster that's getting things done here.
We are going to head to Forbidden Temple for this match 2. I am surprised to see Borky take the very first one. Perhaps catching Shadow and the entirety of the East team off guard. Because they maybe they haven't played a singular player that can take over a match like that, so they were not ready. Maybe they come into this game, they want to start bumping Borky a little bit. They want to start messing him up. You never know. They might have a different strategy here.
For sure, I think the bumps and demos coming to Borky will be crucial if East wants to get a chance to win this and take it to a game number 4.
Borky might be ongoing here off the double tap. Does a nice touch to the corner. We do see the entirety of the East team challenging in the corner. A nice shot from Kanta. He does pass it middle. He passed it middle for Little Ramen Noodle. Ramen Noodle might be clear here. No, East is going to keep pressure. Likely a goal to ensue if they cannot get out of their half.
Very dangerous situation here for Central, trying to break out. East just keeps pressuring. The ball will not go over the halfway mark. Little
Right.
Ramen with the cross, unable to find somebody.
Yeah, we're seeing some misses on the defense. Nice ball. Really what people need. We see Shadow just absolutely flub a aerial. Thought he had plenty of time. Maybe he got nervous. I'm not really sure. Uncertain what happened there. Very uncharacteristic of Shadow. Lost complete control of his car. Borky, like I said, Rock Lee players' favorite saying is we take those, and he will take that one.
Most definitely he will take the freebie. Can East answer after that mistake? I think they can. They've had Central in their half for the majority of this game.
It is tough to answer back after such a demoralizing type of goal. It's one thing when a player or an opponent, just beats you more or less fair and square, for lack of better terms. But when you beat yourself that hard, it is very difficult to come back from it.
This is a dangerous dunk. Shadow's left on defense to defend for himself. Borky off the crossbar. Counter trying to follow it out. A dangerous flick mid from Raptor. Borky is still on it.
Yeah, we are seeing some pretty solid. It's just, when it comes down to the higher level games, one mistake on defense can cost you a goal, and that's just how it is. People are better at capitalizing on the mistake. So, Borky is just absolutely flying around the field, looking like he has some kind of cheat code to go faster than everybody else. But he has not been able to prevail. I think he has a good amount of shots. He does. He has 3 shots, but only 1 goal to show for it. Very similar to last game. He's going to need a better conversion rate if he wants to keep taking these games.
Raptor Grief gets a crucial demo. Conta is stuck on his goal line. Now he's going to go for a dribble. Low boost. Hits the pad. Is he going for an air dribble here? It looks like it. What a flick. Upper 90. Woo. Top bins. As I like to say, that's where Grandma keeps the cookies. It is 1-1 with 2:15 left to play. It is a Conta versus Borky showdown in the championship game.
Quite the air dribble, holding on to his flip until the very last second to get an extra oomph of power on it. Yari is caught red-handed, not being back post. And like I said, people are going to start capitalizing on mistakes here. So you really can't be affording to make a whole lot of them. Borky does go for an absolute Mongo dunk. Doesn't quite get it into the net like he wanted, but still a really nice dunk.
It was a very nice dunk coming out of Borky. Central's pressing. East is trying to get out. They are fighting for their lives. They're trying to get this ball out. Can they break away?
I do think it's interesting.
Going to try and set up an air dribble.
Both goals this game have been off transitions and not just sustained pressure. Very interesting, as it seems like the team that has more pressure is the team giving up just silly goals. And as I say that, we go from defense to offense in a split second off of a dunk, and he's going to get a freebie off of that one.
That was a crucial miss from Yaris. All 3 goals have been on the counter. It is a counter-attacking final.
And that kind of is what it has to be. With Borky going as fast as he can on offense, if you can counter before he's even able to get on defense, that might be the way.
I think Central can pull this off. Can Borky get another one? East might have figured it out, though. If they can just counter quickly, that is the key to success here.
Yeah, you
Ramen
really
staying on the ball.
just got to get rid of
Trying to-
Borky. That's the only goal here.
Shadow with a dot mid. Borky with a save. Little Ramen left alone. Can he dribble this out? Dangerous opportunity. Put back in. Borky trying to save his team. Conte keeping the pressure up. Pass mid to Ramen. Ramen rips it. What a pass and what a goal from Ramen. That might just seal it for us here in game number 3.
Ramen being the difference maker. Like I said, Kanta matches up with Borky. Ramen matches up with any other player. And Shadow, he is doing some work in the back end as well. You got to give it up for the entire team. Like I said, teams are generally better than just a singular player trying to hard carry.
It's really looking like East is putting it all together here. Every member is getting used. Every member is passing it to each other. I think they finally figured out what Central strategy is just to get it to Borky and let Borky carry them through the finish line. Maybe not. I spoke too soon. Yaris puts one in the back of the net.
Yeah, he's doing catching the defense off guard. Really just a mistake coming in from Ramen to leave the net like that as third man. When you leave the net as third man, it's just wide open for anything to get put on target.
10 seconds remaining. Does Central have anything here? Looking to Borky for answers. Borky beats one. Conta says no. Raptor Grief back in. A double commit. Ball is still up. Can East get it down? And they let it fall. Game number 2 goes to East.
So we are at least going to get game 4, potentially game 5. Like I said, I think that Borky may have caught East off guard the first time. But he did not this time. And that's the most important thing. Adjusting to your opponents, learning how they play, learning what their strategies are. And really, it's a very one-dimensional strategy from Central so far. Yari has gotten a few goals, but it does look like Borky is going to be the main breadwinner.
We just got a message, no subs. Both rosters are sticking to what they believe is working, which rightfully so. Each side has 1 win and 1 loss.
Yeah, there's
Going
no
into game
reason you
number
would ever
3.
sub here. There's no chance. You can't risk it. There's too much on the line. This is the championship. No longer third place matches. No longer battle bus that's happening here. This is for all the marbles. You played all semester for this. You got to take it serious.
Going into game number 3, what are your expectations, athlete?
I really think, Konta had some crazy plays. That air dribble in particular. We were talking about top 5 goals of the day. That has to be in consideration, I would think. He's really had to show out to beat Borky here. He is lower ranked theoretically, but if he can keep playing well with his team, that's where the money's going to be.
I agree with that. A dangerous triple commit coming out of Central, and they somehow escape.
Raptor get a little bit more aggressive here. I think that it has dawned on East that they do, in fact, need to help, or it's not on Central that they need to help Borky in order to win this game.
Definitely agree with that. I think we're still staying with the goalie strat. The goalie did look to be pushing quite higher than he has been throughout the series today. Borky gets it past the Raptor.
They
Raptor
do
back
kill
in.
Borky though, so I'm gonna assume that there's not gonna be a whole lot of offensive pressure here. If you can get that demo on Borky, I would have to imagine a few demos on Borky is gonna lead to some nice goals.
Contact and Borky just flying in the heights of the map, trying to duel it out in the air.
They were really fighting each other. We're gonna see a nice shot from Kanta. A misplay from Borky, and an unfortunate got caught out of net by the by Raptor, who was in the net. He was out. He was just out of net just a little bit. Didn't have time to get up. Borky got a poor touch in midfield, and that's kind of it. If you can't demo Borky, you got to at least capitalize on his mistakes. They won't happen often, but when they do, you should be looking for goals.
For sure. Shadows face around. Very awkward on defense. Little Ramen. Borky with another one. Borky says, I will not go down without a fight. It is tied up at 1 with 3:22 left. 2 crucial misses on defense from East. But moving forward, how will East recover?
Shadow had approximately negative 45 boost for that aerial. Got caught out by Yari, and then Borky was able to just put it in the back of the net. Nice and easy.
It seems like Borky's getting his goals just from a mistake off a clear, and he's just capitalizing. And an own goal it appears from the central side.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure, and sometimes people will crack. Unfortunate own goal from Yari. Could have been dealt with in a lot of different ways, but in the back of your net is not the way you want to do it. We are seeing some disagreements between Kanta and Shadow about where they want the ball to go. 50 each other in the backfield, not ideal. Raptor does get a 50 on 2 players that usually will lead to a goal score opportunity. Definitely a lot of pressure on that side, and they're going to commit an own goal. So I guess an eye for an eye makes the world go round.
Back-to-back own goals in the championship series. Something we didn't expect we'd see today.
It seems like the pressure might be getting to these players. Again, they are tired. They have played all season long. You know, they're 3 hours into today. It is understandable that there might be a few oopsie daisies in own goals in this final.
Borky with a 50 into the corner. Yaris pushes up, looking for an opportunity mid.
Kanta trying to figure out what to do with this ball. Gonna let Little Ramen who will take it from him. Off the backward, does need to get stopped, play a little bit of defense. Double commit does happen. Ramen gets it around Borky. This is not good as Raptor's all by himself. Borky does get back. He is single-handedly the fastest player on the field, so he will be able to get back to those things. We do have a lot of pressure. If they can take Borky out, it seems like a good deal for them. And never mind, Borky's on the goal line for defense and can't quite get the 2-tap air dribble. It works against Grand Champ 2s and it works against Grand Champ 1s apparently.
Another amazing shot by Kanta. He refuses to be stopped in his path to the championship title.
Now you have to think that Kanta has is because the rest of his team is also contributing. I don't know if Borky, we haven't seen a whole lot of mechanics from him, and we know that he can do them, but if he does a mechanic and he gets caught up field, so far history has shown us that it's likely to lead to a goal.
Most definitely. We haven't seen a flip reset, which I would like to see. I think that might add some danger, as East has not been able to see his flip reset like we did in Series 1. Kanta into the corner. Minute 24 left to play. And a crucial miss from Raptor. That puts East up by 2 with 1:22 left to play in game number 3.
Yeah, an awkward 50-50, not even a 50-50, just Borky going over the ball, Shadow getting a bouncer into the back of the net. Tough to read. There is still plenty of time, ladies and gentlemen. 2 goals in Rocket League in a minute and a half is almost nothing. Definitely not something you can just bank on for the rest of the game.
Definitely not. Almost goal from Borky. Great save by Little Ramen.
We are going to see a slight whiff from Raptor does end up picking it up. Borky does seem like he's playing a little bit more defensive. He knows he can get these crazy defensive touches that he may not be able to. And really, every goal, as my former coach told me when I was a goalie, every goal you prevent is one less goal they have to score to win. And that means your job is very important, even if sometimes you don't need, you don't do a whole lot of it every game.
That is very true here. See Shadow going to the corner. Very awkward bounce middle. Keeps going. Beats 2. Can he beat 3? Fakes himself almost. Borky going for an air dribble. Here's the mechanics we were talking about. Can he hit it?
He gets almost a double tap. Someone else has to put it down. Raptor does full commit for it. Realistically, you lose by 2, you lose by 3. It doesn't matter. You just have to send the full house here. There is no stopping. All gas, no brakes. Yari needs to not be in the back of the goal. You're not contributing. You're down by 2. You need to get up there, young man.
So, question on that last play. You're down by 2 and you're in the back of the net. Kind of what's the mindset there?
I just think that he's a scared failure, perhaps, but the biggest failure is when you catch a loss in the championship tournament. Uh, really got to get up there. You know, like I said, you lose by 2, you lose by 3. It doesn't matter. You got to get up there. You got to fight. Show yourself. East is apparently going to go for a substitution here. Reasonable, in my opinion, as they have only won one game by more than one goal.
Yeah, in my opinion, when we're in a championship game and Rocket League specific, I would not be subbing. These players are gelling well. They've won back-to-back games. I think you got to stick with that roster. However, the sub might be an answer. We might see the scoring really open up here for East.
Yeah,
Or it could be a turn of the tides for Central. Borky might be able to pick them apart more.
honestly, the last thing I want to do is give Borky some momentum. I don't know if putting a sub in is the right way to prevent that. I personally would not want Borky anywhere close to having any kind of aerials or goals. I think they've done a really good job shutting him down. I don't remember if we've seen a sub for East in the first series or not. Perhaps we did. So I'm not really recalling who that was, but it is hard to believe that they are going to do better than the team that just showed up on DFH there.
For sure. Do you think Central's going to pull this back because of the sub that East is about ready to make? Or do you think the sub is the final answer into their championship quest they've had over the semester?
Well, it does look like they are going to be subbing out Shadow, who, in my opinion, is the second best player for their team. Um, I respect my boy Ramen Noodle for sure, but Shadow seems like he gets a lot done with Contigan, and they're both TTV streamers, so they have that connection. Um, but subbing out Shadow, really, I think if Borky can get a free ball past Conta, we're looking at some freestyle 1v1 forward freestyle mechanics out there. Um, I would be worried. I think that if East does pull it back here, or if Central pulls it back here, this would go down as quite the questionable decision, right up there with not running the ball for the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, that would be quite the decision.
Yeah, there's some decisions that have been very questionable in sports, and I would put it right up next to that one.
Sometimes you're just not on the same level of thinking as coaches. Maybe the coach has something in mind that we don't know. We haven't seen these guys all semester long. Maybe they're going to whip out something that we haven't seen.
In my opinion, I'm gonna need to see someone with a Grand Champ tag subbing in here to like this substitution decision. In a championship match, everything's on the line. You just won your first game by more than one goal. You've already lost one game, so you're not, undefeated. It's questionable, but maybe the coach has it in the bag. Maybe he knows. We are going to see Cuevas come back in. I really hope that's not a bad word because I don't speak that much Spanish. Um, and we're going to see this game. We'll see how game 4 goes. Maybe I'll eat my words, and maybe the substitute will come absolutely crazy for East. Oh, we're seeing a fake kickoff off the rip.
Wow, okay. Maybe this substitution was the plan.
They've got certainly some tricks in the bag. I am questioning what the fake kickoff was supposed to achieve. Potentially a goal, I suppose, as Borky does dive across the goal line to save it. He does have a free ball going against Cuevas, does get the ball against Conta instead. That's kind of what I was worried about. I think Forky does, or Forky, I think Borky does
Oh my.
style on anyone
Calling
that is not
Forky.
named Kanta.
You were not wrong misspeaking on his name. That did look awful like Forky. Wow.
What
What
a
a double
crazy
tap.
double
I think
tap in the back of the net.
that is the goal of the tournament so far.
That's certainly the solo play of the tournament for me. There's been maybe that flipper set that he almost tried. I think he just erased that flipper set off the top 5. Very nice goal for sure. Did thoroughly enjoy that. Like I said, if Kanta is not the one stopping Borky for East, I don't know if anyone on the East team can stop Borky. And so when he gets a free ball like that, I don't foresee the sub getting up into Borky's grill like that.
Most definitely, Borky is flying around the map. He just had an amazing save on Kanta. Cuevas trying to take it on his own. Kanta now is going to give Borky some trouble in the corner.
Borky almost resorting to lockdown defense only a minute and 15 into the game. Very interesting. He just kind of sat in net and waited for Kanta to come to him. Maybe he also understands the situation. You know, if I can beat Kanta, no one can beat me, so I'm just going to wait to take that fight with Kanta every time.
Good save coming from Raman after a miss. Raman's going to take it on his own. Raptor with the clear. Cuevas has resorted to playing the goalie strategy. I think we are going to see 2 teams play goalies in the finals.
Yeah, it does seem like, I really don't think that Cuevas has the stuff to compete with Borky. Now that I'm remembering, or now that I recognize the name, I think he was really struggling to get to the air, and that seems to be where Borky loves to be. So very questionable to put a goalie against such a high-level player like that cannot get into the air very well.
Most definitely, especially in the championship game where your season is on the line and this is what you've been working towards.
Yeah, I'm sure the administration of both of these teams would love for them to bring back some first place hardware. So questionable decision to put them in. I will say, my biggest problem with this substitution is you kind of expect to lose, and Borky puts another one in the back of net, but you kind of expect, maybe not to lose, but you expect to do worse with the sub, right? That's why they're the sub. And so with the games all being 1 goal, not a lot of margin for the sub for error. And then if you do lose this game, it's not guaranteed you win the next game with your full roster.
Right? You're just kind of breaking up that flow state, which in a championship game is absolutely massive.
Yeah, it's very similar to if NRG would have put in Musty for the regional championships. They played the whole tournament together. Musty is not as good as Justin. Very similar situation here.
We have 1:45 left on the clock. Can East squeak out 2 goals to bring us into overtime?
Yari almost gets the absolute soul read on that clear. Borky does put one down, but Ramen is there to block it away. They are giving Borky kind of infinite space and time to do whatever he wants. I don't love it all the time. And Borky's going for an air dribble bump on Cuevas. Quite rude, if you do ask me. But you know what? Here's the deal. It's Championship Sunday, baby. You gotta secure those goals.
That's what it is. It's all about getting those scrappy goals. That wasn't a bad idea from Borky. Just gotta go for the bump in case he's up there. And it did work. They're up 3 with 1:18 left on the clock to play. Do you kind of start to wonder, do you enter secure the win mode so you can force game 5 if you're Central?
Honestly, I don't even think you do. I think that every single goal you can put in as Central makes it that much harder for East to regain their momentum in the final game when they have the full roster. Now, it is important, I guess, to state, I'm not 100% sure if this is a best of 5 or best of 7, seeing how it is the championship match. I think it could be theoretically best of 7. I have not gotten word from the tournament admins. It is kind of up to them. Um, but if it is best of 5, should have ran Marshawn Lynch on the goal line. Should not have subbed out Shadow in the finals.
That is a very true statement.
We are getting word from production. It is best of 5. This is very questionable to sub in then. I think Central, you get one more goal in. You take all that momentum into the final game.
6 seconds left to play.
Yeah, it's just impossible to come back. Borky does absolutely sky a sitter on the goal line.
Nah, that is a very questionable miss. Now, is that kind of sitting in the back of Central's mind? Man, we should have 4 that game. Are they happy with 3?
I don't think you can really dwell on that one too much. It was an absolutely horrific whiff into the crossbar by an unusual character. Borky almost dropping 1,000 again. Unsurprisingly, East is going to sub back in Shadow. The real question is it too little too late? Like I said, they already lost one match or one game with their starting roster. This is not a guaranteed win against the Borkster.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we were looking for him. We were looking for that Series 1 Borky. Hadn't been seen in the championship game. When elimination was on the line, he turned it up. That double tap to start us off with was the goal of the tournament, and he proceeded to lay down 2 more goals to get his team to a 3-0 victory in game number 4. Game number 5 in the MOSEF Championship Series. Both third place match and championship have gone to a game 5.
And I
Will this be in overtime?
I forgot to change. I'm gonna let them know. I forgot to change the field to Champ Field. We are gonna change. They're subbing anyway, so we have a little bit of downtime, so it's whatever. But yeah, it's I don't know. This seems like a mistake in my opinion. Shadow and Borky, or Shadow and Kanta, were really vibing there for a fat minute on those first few games. I do respect wanting to have your players get some play time. However, there's a time and a place to put your players in just for play time and for funsies. Championship match is questionable.
I would say so too. Usually, you don't try players out in championship matches. It never favors the person who subbed. It just breaks that flow that team established, and it's really hard to reestablish it after you lost. Especially in game number 4, a game that could clinch the title for East. It's going to be difficult to come back. But if I had to bet, it would be on East. That's where I'm placing all my eggs.
It's just
TV boys.
I don't know. After seeing Borky get that absolutely disgusting double tap onto their noggins, you did exactly what I did not want to happen, which is give him some momentum. He's got a dub under his belt. He's got a filthy double tap. I think I'm sticking with your boy Borky.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. I think the TTV boys are going to win this championship game. Let's get into game number 5 of the MOSEF Middle School State Finals.
Final match here. There will be a winner. There will be a loser. Some tears may be shed. Blood certainly will be, as there have been demos all over the place. We just need to see who has the rest of what's in the tank to finish this match off. It's a nice center by Forky. No one's there. There is a poor touch in defense. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. The chemistry is just so off for the side of East now, and you hate to see that, really.
Little Ramen, kind of awkward in the corner. Forky's up. What a save by Shadow. Shadow is back in the match and proving why he should be in this situation. Blocks one of the best players to play in MOSEF Middle School Rocket League this semester.
Honestly, probably one of the best players in MOSEF Middle School Rocket League history, as he's going to put one top shelf from a poor touch from Kanta right in the middle pass. Ramen can't quite get there. Shadow was in net, and he did give it the good old college try. Unfortunately, he's in 8th grade.
The good old college try was right. They're going to have to go with the good old college try to get this one back. Can Shadow regain his momentum that he had in game number 3?
Yeah, it's already looking pretty rough here. We are going to see a mid pass from Borky, this time to Yari. Does get a nice hit. We see a lot of team bumps coming in from the side of Central, from the side of East, and that really seals the deal. Like I said, this game was not a free win just by putting in your A-team starting lineup. They had already taken 1 loss. This is looking very similar to that game, I believe, 2 loss that they had. Ramen is going to put one in the back of the net. A fortunate 50 does go into mid. Very good hit from Connigan. And then Ramen does almost sky it into the backboard, but he finds the bar down for the net.
He's just doing some placements. For the next goal, he's about ready to score here to tie us up.
Ramen becoming the difference maker again in this series. Like I said, Kanta and Borky pretty evenly matched. Shadow is pretty matched with Raptor. It's coming down to how good the third man can be.
Dangerous ball mid. Hits the post. Kanta is up for the dunk. Almost. Borky's awkward off the post. Can Ramen get it backboard?
We're doing our best BDS impersonation. Just keep hitting the crossbar. Borky is low in the net. I do not believe that Central knows that, or East knows that. I keep mixing up Central and East. Borky is going to get a nice hard clear, almost on target. Yari can't quite finish it. Kanta is going to take it downfield. Shadow does touch it away from him. Questionable play as he puts the ball toward Borky and away from his teammate. What a save by Shadow. He is making a difference here. No longer the substitute, instead the starting roster. Another poor touch to mid. Orkster is going to capitalize on that one. Kanta really just got to clean up these touches mid or be more in sync with his teammates. That synchronicity is just not there.
At 9 a.m. this morning, I said Borky was a player to watch out for. He has been a force that is unstoppable this tournament. Goals left and right carrying Central. Can he carry them to a finals victory? He's trying to get this one back with 2:45 left to play, 2 goals to score.
Yeah, the crazy thing about Rocket League is because of how exponential of a skill gap there is in between ranks, we see a very similar story in the high school and the middle school leagues where one player really just can have that effect and take over this whole scene. Borky is looking like that player for middle school. It was Bubs for the high school, absolutely carrying his roster over the finish line.
It just looks like he is the Bubs of the middle school. 3 goals in the final. I believe he's having himself a season like Russell Westbrook when he was averaging a triple-double. He is averaging a hat-trick almost every single series.
Yeah, it's not only that, it seems like Raptor and Yari are becoming more comfortable as the lead grows. Less stress on you. You have just over 2 minutes left to not throw. As you've been saying this whole series, we are pretty much in win the game mode. Unfortunately, an own goal is not the first step in that process.
Now, however, a few weeks ago in our RLCS qualifier, we saw a team throw a 5-1 lead in less than 45 seconds. This is only 2 goals. It is possible. Anything can happen in the MOSEF state finals for Rocket League.
That is true. There is a clip circulating Twitter of a all SSL team throwing a 4-goal lead in 40 seconds. So it can happen anywhere, folks. Absolute travesty at that level of play. But like I said, it can't happen anywhere. The game is not over yet. Borky is electing to take it back to his half, slow rolling up the wall, and then banging it across. Perhaps he has already learned the skill of securing dubs as he almost empties it into the back of the net.
Borky is just solely chasing the ball, trying to get it away from Kanta. He's realized Kanta is the danger. Lil Ramen puts it back in. Borky still flying for it.
Yeah, I think it was
around
very
the.
important for them to understand who was the dangerous one who. Borky does whip an absolute sitter on the goal line. It appears that he has a trend. He loves hitting the double taps, he loves hitting the aerials, but man, when that ball is almost stationary on the goal line, it's a toughie.
It is a toughie when it's on the goal line, especially in a championship game. The nerves are on the line, the legs are shaking, and a
Ooh!
goal with 49 seconds left. It is a one-goal game. Kanta, as we know him, here comes another double. Exactly the same as he had in the first series he played in today. Can Central hold on? Or will East prevail and take this game into overtime?
An overtime Game 5 situation would be absolutely peak. We have seen Konta hit those double taps. He really likes to do that. Uh, hit it just off the crossbar. We are going to see Yari crash the net. Borky again struggling to put the ball away, but Yari says, "Don't worry, brother, I got you," or maybe even "What's up, brother?" to the opposing team and puts one in the back of the net.
Kind of interesting stat here. Borky in the last 2 games has put up 21 shots and
That
6 goals.
is absolutely outrageous, actually. And Raptor is going to all but put the nail in the Compton. He's been fairly quiet today. However, I don't know if you noticed this, Rico. There was a double fake Spanish kickoff in the middle school league, which is bonkers, and Raptor ends up punishing them for it.
It was bonkers. The elusive fake kickoff. Never seen before in MOSEF. Now you got a question. Was the sub worth it?
You
Sergeant's
know,
taking a look. See it.
I can't fully place the blame on the substitution, but man, they look very out of sorts here on the east side. Their own goaling, they're obviously very frustrated. They were double committing. They were passing the ball middle. You got to think at least a part of this is because of the chemistry and the momentum killing of the substitution.
I think what had happened was in game number 4, they let Borky find his groove. Borky has now 4 goals in the championship game. And Central is your MOSEF state finalist. They have won the Middle School Rocket League. Borky, an absolute performance today. Insane, averaging over a hat trick per game in the finals.
Yeah, almost dropping a thou in the final game, taking 21 shots in the last 2 games, which is outrageous. Shout out to East. Great sportsmanship. They GG'd after a tough Game 5 loss. That really shows that although the substitution was a questionable coaching error, in my opinion, the coaching overall has done very well for those kids over there at East Middle School.
Nope. Shout out to Reed Springs, Central, East, and Herculaneum. You all had great seasons. Keep your head up high. You're a top 4 in Middle School Rocket League, and this is a great achievement to have on early in your careers, and use this as momentum to progress your way into MOSEF High School League. And even if you want to go to college, use this as motivation to improve for college and find that school for you.
Yeah, MOSEF has a great platform for you all. Take advantage of it while it's here, um, and keep grinding. At bare minimum, you guys have 5 years left, so you got plenty of time to get better than I've ever been, and get drafted up like Bubs did into Mizzou. Would love to see some homegrown talent make it out to the CRL scene.
The homegrown talent in Missouri is just increasing year after year. We see players going on to college and being absolutely insane just for a small state that is known for a flyover state. Really ain't a flyover state for Rocket League anymore.
5 colleges in the CRL on a consistent basis, sometimes 6, sometimes 7 even. Keep your heads up high, keep grinding, and any closing words on the tournament overall?
Um, Personally, I think tournament MVP is Borky. I don't know how. I guessed game 1. I said Borky's gonna be something special, and he was something special. But thank you for everyone playing. It was great watching you all. And until next year, any closing words, athlete?
Just keep playing, keep grinding. Y'all are doing great. Borky definitely MVP. Take home your hardware. Have a safe trip home. I know Mexico, Missouri is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, so good luck getting home. And we will see you all in the fall, hopefully, if they'll have us back at MOSEF for the high school state championship as well.